play again.
And now he plays for my team.
Well, the deal's not done yet, Jeremy.
Oh, it's done. I have no fear. I'm all right. Let me be maybe just the. Well, you get up my tinfoil hat, get it out of the drawer. So, according to everything I have been told in the last couple of hours, this has been done. Aaron Rodgers did decide this, and that's why he came out and said this.
Mm-hmm.
I believe what he just did was put complete pressure on the Green Bay Packers. All the Jet fans are going, well, now he's put pressure on Joe Douglas. Not really. Not really, because what are you going to do if you're Green Bay? They have no leverage here. None. This is why I've been saying, Mark Murphy, why are you still talking? There's nobody else here. He hinted at the Vegas thing. It'd be nice to go reunite with Devontae. It was never happening. I told you that from Jump Street.
Mm-hmm.
So are you going to take assets for this player that just set your franchise on fire, or are you going to let him just wisp away into nothing? Okay. Yeah, that pressure's all on Green Bay.
Yep.
All of it.
Yep.
And I won't be shocked if we get this done in the next hour, 2 hours. To me, there's not a whole lot to talk about. Well, we think he's worth a Matthew Stafford deal. Nobody else does. So, try again. Take two, second verse, same as the verse.
You're still on two
twos. It's 2 twos. I think that's what this ultimately becomes.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be the 40, I think it's the 44th pick in this draft, 44, 45, somewhere in there. And then a 2 next year.
Yep.
And I'm fine with that. Let's go.
It's the generation of mercenaries and Patrick Mahomes as far as teams that win Super Bowls in this current state of the NFL. You had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yes, we'll get to it in just a second.
Oh,
you had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Tom Brady. You got Matthew Stafford with the L.A. Rams. And now you got the New York Jets going after Aaron Rodgers. Can Rodgers get another Super Bowl title before he is done? It's time for the opening drive here in the Sportsocracy. And it's always brought to you by Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville. Go to 629 Brevard Road, AndersonNissan.com. Tell them that the Sportsocracy sent you. You're in there to get a brand new or a certified pre-owned vehicle. They have a great stock of both. And by mentioning us, they'll give you a $250 bonus on your trade-in.
I am in a brand new, different colored Pro 4X 2023 Nissan Titan. This one is blacked out where the other one was red. And I'm not going to lie, I think I love this one as much as I love the red one.
This is very nice.
It is a beautiful, wonderful, gigantic, big, comfortable truck, and I just love it. And you can love it too. Go to 629 Brevard Road. Tell them that the formerly fat guys from the Sportsocracy sent you.
All right, the Green Bay Packers appear to be parting with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers says he wants to be a Jet.
But that's not the only story of the day.
I mean, it should be.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers got their franchise guy. Let's go. This is the best day. I'm telling you right now, this is the best day of my life.
The Tampa Bay
Not
Buccaneers.
only do I get a future Hall of Famer to lead my young roster of talented superstars to a Super Bowl, you get the bane of my existence, Baker Mayfield. And not only that, but I get to tell you I told you so.
Well, ain't it fun? Ain't it fun that Baker Mayfield gets signed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and he'll play 6 total games for them?
Over. Aggressively.
It's going to be so awesome.
That's actually the part that I find to be so stupid is, no, you're going to go 8-9. That's exactly what you are. Resign Levante David. Just lather this up to be the definition of mediocrity. In fire those cannons, by golly, put more powder in them things. Such a good day.
I gotta hope. Look, you always want to hope for the best for your team. When Tom Brady came to Tampa, we went, okay, now we know the path. The path is Super Bowl. And he got the Super Bowl. And then it all comes tumbling down when Tom Brady leaves, or does it? I mean, it would have made more sense to go full-on tank job, but no. They're not going to do that for me. What they want to do is let's be competitive in the NFC South.
And you will be competitive.
Because that's the great path. Of course we will.
Yeah, you will be competitive.
Of course we will. There are still enough good players on this roster that if you have, gross yet sometimes okay quarterback play, you're going to win a few games. And that's the problem. You don't want to do that. When there are franchise quarterbacks at the top of the next draft, the one thing you don't want to do is just be okay.
Yeah, we'll be picking at number 14 next year. That'll be fun.
Such is life as a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan.
I just have to. Some of you in the comments that, well, 39-year-old quarterback who only has one Super Bowl win. You do realize he played in the era of Tom Brady, right? I can do the exact same thing you just did with Aaron Rodgers with every other quarterback of the last 20 years. Yeah, hey, Peyton Manning won 2, and he had to go somewhere else to win the second one.
Yep.
Does that sound familiar? It's so good.
Yep.
So good. When a guy plays 18 years and one quarterback wins 7 Super Bowls in that span, not a lot of people are going to have multiples. I mean, some of the reaction to this Aaron Rodgers thing is comical to me. And you'll call me a homer. You do get that they went 7-10 in the already tough AFC with me playing quarterback.
Yep.
What do I always say when things like this happen? Turn to Las Vegas. How many teams in the NFL have better Super Bowl odds than the Jets right now?
5.
4.
4.
And it's all the ones you would think.
I think this makes them an immediate contender.
No doubt. No doubt it does. Because here's what I heard out of Aaron.
I don't see how people aren't getting there.
I don't either. I can tell you how. To me, that side of it's really easy to figure out because they hate Aaron Rodgers. Because exactly what he did today. Exactly what he did today is the reason that people do this. Because he is a narcissist to the highest level, and he also did the exact same thing I told you he was going to do, of sitting there going, I went into the darkness, and I got my chakras right, and I had to take a poop in the dark, and it made me feel better about where I am in life. Because he's a weird guy. He's also one of the 5 greatest quarterbacks that ever lived, and still got a lot of juice in the tank. If you don't believe me, 2 MVPs in the last 3 years.
I mean, I understand why people question it, though.
Okay, explain that to me.
Well, because he has it. Okay, so he won the 1 Super Bowl. Okay, how many others has he been to?
None.
Well, I mean, that's kind of a problem, right? I mean, if we're looking at, you're in the discussion of greatest of all time, you would think that you would have more success being in Super Bowls, in contention for Super Bowls.
And I'll be honest with you,
for years,
my pure hatred of Tom Brady, this is an added layer to it that I never. Tom Brady has made so many of you so completely, unbelievably irrational that it is comical to me. Comical to me. Who's the greatest quarterback ever lived?
It's Tom Brady.
Okay. Who's 2?
Probably Joe
Montana, who was in an NFC, which if there's ever been a worse conference than the NFC is right now, it was the NFC in the late 80s. Only thing that's even in the ballpark. Who's 3?
Peyton.
No, Peyton. Yeah, he went to 2. He went to 2 because he couldn't get past Tom. 4 is probably John Elway, who was 38 years old before he sniffed one. But he went to, and he got slaughtered in every single one of them. I can do this until the cows come home. And yet somehow, if you want to hate him, that's fine. If you're looking at this roster saying the Jets are not a legit contender now, that's on you. That's your personal bias, not mine. I'm a Jets fan. I'm the most cynical person you have ever met in your life. I didn't believe this was happening until I physically heard the words come out of his mouth. Tank watched every second of this on the other side of that desk from me, and I'm sitting here with bated breath going, he's retiring. I said it not 30 seconds before he said, I'm playing with the Jets.
He did.
I'm more cynical than anybody. If there was a legit reason to kill this, I'd be giving it to you right now. There's not. There is not a reason to kill this. Oh, Aaron Rodgers was so unbelievably awful last year. Oh, really? Is that where we're going with this? Because after the break, I'm going to prove to you that he wasn't, and I'm going to take a big old victory lap as I do it.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
There's a lot of talk about heroes these days.
Hey, buddy, you want to go fishing?
The folks in the funny outfits with superpowers and spandex.
All right, buddy, let me help you.
But at Ingles, we know that a lot of our heroes
Now you look like a pro.
are a little closer to home. They're the ones who give us what we need for those everyday adventures. That's why we look up to the ones who look out for us.
Don't forget your fish food. Catch a big one.
Ingles,
See you later, Dad.
all the ingredients for family.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
When I can't sleep, my mind just races. I think about work, the kids, but I don't think about taking melatonin because I'm afraid I'll feel groggy in the morning.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies has an optimal dose of melatonin for no next-day grogginess, so you can fall asleep naturally and wake up feeling refreshed. ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies for better sleep like never before. And try Pure Z Sleep plus Next Day Energy with melatonin plus extended-release B vitamins.
You are invited to dinner with us. Hello, my name is Stan Asher, lead pastor of Connection Point. I want to invite you to come and find hope, encounter truth, and experience love. We invite you to join us every Wednesday evening, 6:15 p.m. for a free meal followed by small groups, life-relevant Bible studies for every age group at 7 p.m. We also have an exciting children's ministry. We are located at 142 Elk Mountain Road, Asheville, North Carolina, 28804. Check us out on the web to learn more at connectionpointcog.org. We'll be looking for you.
Dr. Rick here, with another telltale sign you're turning into your parents, getting particular about your drive-thru order.
Don't pull away yet. I like to check the bag because one time they forgot to give me extra ketchup.
People are waiting.
I'm only seeing 4 nuggets. Wait, nope, there's 5.
Progressive can't help you from becoming your parents, but we can help you compare rates on home insurance with Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
The Big South champion UNC Asheville Bulldogs are dancing all the way to Sacramento to take on UCLA in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Brian Hall and Mike Gore will be courtside Thursday night starting at 9:30. This special tournament broadcast is brought to you by our title sponsor, Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. And also by Firehouse Subs, now hiring for Weaverville, Patton Avenue, Tunnel Road, Airport Road, and Cherokee locations. Allen's Jewelry and Pawn, Patton Avenue, Tunnel Road, and Cherokee, and Air Vent Exteriors. Expand your outdoor living space.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling?
Because I love football.
Yeah, it's a done deal.
It's
you
a
thought I
beautiful
was
day in the
crazy.
neighborhood.
You thought I was crazy when I rolled in here, 2 months ago and said, hey, your path is getting Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, I never thought that the universe would let me be this happy.
And
Because
here
I'm a
we
Jets fan, so I'm incredibly skeptical.
And here we are, March 15th, and Aaron Rodgers goes on the Pat McAfee show and says he wants to be a Jet. The Packers are standing in the way right now of the negotiations. They're backtracking, so the framework of the deal is there. The Packers just want a little bit more in return from the Jets in this trade. And Aaron Rodgers just basically went on the Pat McAfee show and took away every bit of leverage that they had.
Correct.
In this deal.
Because they have none.
So congratulations to Aaron Rodgers for that. One final screw you to the Green Bay Packers on his way out the door to New York. It won't be long before this deal gets made official.
But because you have to get it done.
Of course you do.
So we have we got a slew of things.
I'm your huckleberry.
This is from Lee Bruce, whose super chat came in pounds, which means he's from over the pond.
There you go.
He said, hold on, you don't think he's worth the Matthew Stafford deal? Back-to-back MVP, not going for less than one first. Promise. Okay. I didn't say he wasn't worth it. You don't have any leverage.
Right.
All right, so if you're Green Bay, which is better for you? You trade him to the AFC, you're moving on to Jordan Love one way or the other. You don't really think he's just going to go away, do you? That narcissist that just rambled on for 57 minutes, you think he's just going to fade off into the ether? Not quite. Yeah, people like that don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
He's worth that. I don't have to give you that. All right, so if he's worth a first, cool. You get 13, end of message, repeat the line.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest with you, if I'm the Jets, I'm not sure I wouldn't rather do that than give you 2 2s. 6 one way, half dozen the other. I don't really care. It's happening one way or the other. Maybe they take a player back. I've heard Elijah Moore. I struggle to believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Corey Davis makes more sense.
I'm more interested in what comes after this, what comes out of the deal, the restructure of the contract. What does that all look like? Who owns what of the money? I can't wait.
Well, the Jets are going to end up
explained.
he's going to restructure the deal. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, well, of course.
And I agree with Lee. He's worth at least 1-1 in a completely stationary world where he didn't just go on a show and basically deep fry your entire front office. I would agree with you, but he did. He did. It was the most watched thing in the history of YouTube.
Most live
concurrence ever for anything sports related. I think there's probably been.
I'm sure.
I'm sure something else has beaten it, but it was the headline said most viewed, whatever. So you're to this point of now you're to the standoff. You got guns pointed at each other. Who's going to break? And Green Bay's the one that. I mean, they both have incentive to get this done.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be shocked if they get more than I have said, but everything I've heard is 2-2s. Now here's the part where I can't really wrap my brain around. Well, are the Jets even any good with him? Who's the leading receiver of the Green Bay Packers last year?
Was it Romeo?
No.
Was it Watson?
No. I'll give you a hint. He's the 3 receiver for the Jets right now. It's Alan Lazard.
Oh, Allen.
That was the leading receiver on the team. He's the 3. Now, do me a solid and tell me what position are the Green Bay Packers, the current Green Bay Packers roster. You tell me where they're better than the Jets. I'll wait.
Offensive line, maybe?
You're drunk. Elgton Jenkins. Yeah, I have one of those. His name's Elijah Vera Tucker. I don't even know what position he's going to play. I just know he's going to play one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, their line was awful last year. They started 13 offensive linemen last year. Was the most hurt unit in the NFL. Oh, is the defense better?
God, no.
Sorry. I just saying that out loud made me kind of laugh. But they're in the AFC. I completely agree with you. I'm not disputing anything you just said.
I think running backs are close.
I'll give you close. I would say Brees and Aaron Jones. I would rather have Brees moving forward, but coming off the knee, I get it.
Right. You got a young kid coming off an injury as opposed to Aaron Jones, and then you got Michael Carter, who, it was great the start of his career, and then he faded behind Brees, and he's been out with injury, and I'd much rather have A.J. Dillon. So, over Michael Carter? That's not even a discussion to me.
They just do. Okay. So you're better at running back, the least valuable position in the entire league.
Right. And to me, that's a maybe.
I mean, it's close.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me go down another rabbit hole here. Do you know what the best quarterback for the New York Jets, what statistically, what they looked like last year? Let me just read it to you. 58% completion percentage, 3 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. You could be legally dead and actually be better than anything the Jets had last year. I don't need him to be MVP, Aaron. That's the point that everybody seems to be missing. He can be exactly what he was last year. I don't care because I have one of the best defenses in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And do you not think there are veteran players around the league looking at Aaron going to the biggest media market in the country going, that could be fun? Yeah, they are.
All right, we got another super chat from across the pond from Lee.
I'm your huckleberry.
He says the Packers stunk last year, man. 12 had a broken thumb, lost their offensive coordinator in Hackett, wide receiver 1 in Adams, and more. Jets are Super Bowl contenders with 12.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
I do too.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
I do too. Look,
I think basically everything he just said is exactly what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
You had all of these things going on in Green Bay last year, all of these ugly different situations. He was still a 65% passer, 26 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. You want me to tell you a fun story about that? The worst year of his career would have been the best season of a quarterback play in Jets history.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even close.
The Jets finally have a quarterback worth talking about.
Mm-hmm. And here's the difference between and look, I'm not saying they're the Super Bowl favorite.
No.
Are the Buffalo Bills regressing, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, you lost Tremaine Edmonds. They're
I mean, they re-signed Jordan Poyer,
which
so
is
that's
great.
good.
I'm not saying the team's not good.
Good job, guys.
You also lost to the Jets last year.
Mm-hmm.
At full health, you lost to the Jets. It was in New York. Weird things happen. I get it. Are they not exponentially better? The New York Jets right now are exponentially better than they were last year.
Absolutely.
The Buffalo Bills are at least a little less than they were. The Miami Dolphins just had to bring in the quarterback that I just said was the best of the New York Jets because they're terrified of the health of Tua Tagovailoa.
Mm-hmm.
And the fourth team in this division, their claim to offseason fame is they just signed Juju Smith-Schuster. Woo.
Did they? I hadn't seen that.
Yeah,
yet.
I've been trying to find a way to get that in for.
So the New England Patriots now have Juju.
Yes, 3 years, $33 million,
Okay.
which is fine. That's a fine signing.
It's $11 million, the same that Alan Lazard got to go to the New York Jets.
Mm-hmm. One less year. It's perfectly fine. It's a good signing for New England.
Mm-hmm.
I have no fear of New England. I don't have that much fear of Miami. They're talented.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best division in football. I'm not sure that's even debatable at this point.
This is all manner of hatred wrapped together.
Oh, no doubt.
This is the Aaron Rodgers hatred, the Aaron Rodgers doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody who doubted him in Green Bay is still going to doubt him now. They're going to hate the fact that he is chasing greener pastures, pun intended.
And that's why he came out and said what he said today.
Yeah.
I have no doubt. Yes, he is the biggest narcissist on the planet. And all these people that say I'm setting myself up for disappointment. Why? Because I actually have hope. I'm not telling you they're going to win the Super Bowl. It's the Jets. Nothing in my life has disappointed me more than the New York Jets.
Mm-hmm.
If they were a girlfriend, they would have cut off one of my hands and run me over with a car. Nothing has hurt me in this life more than the New York Jets.
Mm-hmm.
But you're telling me come September 9th, I don't have exponentially more hope than I did 24 hours ago?
I want to ask this question. Why is this such a problem? Why are high hopes, I guess I should say, such a big problem, such a big detriment? Oh, you're setting yourself up for failure or for disappointment. I heard that time and time again after my team signed Tom Brady. It's better to be sorely disappointed in a team than it is to not have any hope at all.
There are children in this world that can almost drive a car that have never seen a Jet playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
And you think I'm setting myself up for disappointment. You do understand I'm the same guy that watched us draft Geno Smith, Christian Hackenberg, and Mark Sanchez. How bad do you think this can be? That's what a lot of you don't seem to get. As a Jet fan, you're bottom of the barrel anyway. You're the laughing stock of the NFL and have been forever. Now you're at least legitimate. Now I've at least got a reason to September 9th throw on a jersey and go, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Could that be a wild card loss? Yeah, it could. You know what that's better than? Every year I've had since 2009.
Yep. You make the playoffs, it's a win. You don't win a Super Bowl, it's not necessarily a loss.
And here's the net of it. I've seen Bob Brown he's asked this question twice. Jets were 7-10 without Aaron Rodgers last year. If they don't make the AFC Championship game this year, is the season a failure? Oh, good God, no.
Mm-mm.
No, what you just did is you have ammoed yourself up to give yourself the best chance to actually be competitive for the ultimate goal, which is a Super Bowl. Here's my question. What else was I supposed to do? If you say sign Lamar Jackson, I'm going to laugh at you until I may actually piddle in my pants. That is a $250 million investment. Yeah, sorry, I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Because, frankly, I'm not sure that the roster's there. It's talented. It's good. No smiles if the Jets don't win a Super Bowl, everyone's fired. No, they're not. No, they're not. You know what Jet fans are doing right now? And there's enough of them in the comments that can attest to what I'm saying. We're looking at Joe Douglas and go, do you know how many things I've heard over the years that died on the vine and nobody could pull them off? Joe Douglas, Robert Saleh, and Woody Johnson just did it. You just gave me a reason to throw on a jersey, to have some hope. And for me, I'm not going to say it's good enough. Yeah, I want to win a playoff game. I want to win 3 playoff games. I want to go to the Super Bowl. You've given me a reason to be happy. And this team hasn't given me one of those in 3 presidential terms without just immediately flattening me 5 minutes later. That's plenty for me. Jets, 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 Jets.
This is the Sportsocracy, and you're on ESPN Asheville. We'll be right back.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Another night of 20s in the valley, 26 degrees with northwest winds settling down tonight. We do change the wind direction Thursday. We start a warm up here for a late week. 63 tomorrow, not as cold tomorrow night in the 40s. And then some rain on Friday, high 56 degrees. Another shot of cold comes in for the weekend with highs in the 40s this weekend. Nighttime low temps in the low 20s Saturday night, Sunday night. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech. You're keeping up with updated traffic and weather, but are you doing the same when it comes to COVID-19? Sign up now for reliable info on COVID-19 and a vaccine option, resources, and more at PfizerCovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Josh, quote, "After walking around my whole life being a mouth breather, I was excited to try Navage. I read the directions carefully, pressed the button, and oh my gosh, what a sensation. So much mucus, so much crud, but oh sweet, merciful air I can finally breathe you through my nose. Never have I ever taken such an amazing breath in my life. This is a life changer," unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Wendy's 2 for $6 lets you mix and match some of our best items, like Dave Single with a 10-piece crispy nugs, medium strawberry lemonade with a spicy chicken sandwich, spicy chicken with a Dave Single with a strawberry lemonade, strawberry lemonade, if you're into that. Chicken Sam, crispy nugs, strawberry lemonade, Dave's, nugs, Sam. Whew. Pick what you want at a price you want. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's 2 for $6.
For a limited time, price and participation may vary at U.S. Wendy's. On the card only. Single item at regular price.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to ESPNAVL.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is the Sportsocracy, and you are on ESPN Asheville, seeing us live on YouTube as well. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. Today,
you can see happy Jeremy Greene and sad Tank Spencer.
Oh.
This is the greatest reversal of fortune since the gas station sushi incident of 2022.
Today is, it's a fun day for Major League Baseball as the Diamond Sports Group, the Sinclair Broadcasting subsidiary that owns the broadcasting rights to 14 Major League Baseball teams, plus several NBA, NHL, and WNBA teams, has officially filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The company holds $8 billion in debt. They've filed for bankruptcy, and they say that they will continue, that all of the regional sports networks will continue to produce content with $425 million cash on hand that they have. Now, the interesting part is when they start missing payments to these teams. A lot of Major League teams expect a decent chunk of their income to come from these regional sports networks. Well, that's not going to come if they don't have the money to pay them. And in that scenario, baseball has already started to try to make plans for whatever are we going to do. Are we going to put these on local television? No, dum-dums. The answer is, and has been for the last 10 years, streaming. Online streaming. That is the way to go. I feel like
streaming is the right solution anyway.
Right. Major League Baseball broke into the streaming they were the first, right? They were the first of all the major sports to go online broadcasting. Here we go. We're streaming everything online. You can get the MLB TV package, and you can see all of your games. And this is the way to go.
Well,
you make
there's only one problem with that.
You make this more available.
I mean, there's only one problem with that.
What's that?
The average consumer of Major League Baseball is 94 years old. So it's going to be hard to explain to Grandpa how you find the Red Sox game on YouTube TV.
Well, look, Grandpa's just going to have to
He's out there with the remote trying to change the toaster. I can't find the Red Sox game. I had somebody specific in mind right there because I'm choosing violence today. Live Golf. They attempted to choose violence, and instead they chose stupidity. They have attempted to file trademarks on all things L-I-V. What's the problem with that? If you've ever been to the lovely state of Florida, you probably already know the answer to what I'm getting ready to say.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very well-known nightclub in Miami. It's called L-I-V.
Oh.
And they already have trademarks on that name from all over the world. So they're filing an opposition to the trademark of oink. We were here first. And I didn't think of this because I haven't seen this place in a long time. Don't ask me about the time I did say it because that's a story I can't tell on FCC radio. They look exactly alike. All of the signage, all of the things, they look exactly alike. Apparently, Live Golf's claim to fame is that the nightclub is called Live, and they are saying that their acronym is the Roman numeral for 54. So what we should actually be calling them is 54 Golf, not Live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not good. It's a bad look, and how you didn't do a precursory trademark search before you named your entity, I will never know.
Because it did not matter.
When we named it,
you were focused on going after the PGA. You did not care about anything else.
So I'll tell you a story. This is how easy it is to find trademark things. When we first started doing this show, it was called what?
The Sports Tank.
Yep. Now, do you know why the name changed? I know you do because we talked about it. Because somebody else owned that name, so we had to change it. So we added with Jeremy Greene, which was a placeholder until we figured out what we wanted to do. Didn't want to change all the imaging, all the things. So then we came up with the name of what the show is currently, the Sportsocracy. Do you know I did everything short of turn over every rock you could possibly find to see if anybody had a legal right to this name?
Mm-hmm.
And when I found out that they didn't, a couple people had started one, might have sent them a little PayPal payment of, how about you just go away? That good for all of us? Good for you? All right. We registered all of the domains, and we now own them. Mm-hmm. Why was that so hard for you? We're two dumb animals, and we figured out how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a bad look for an entity that is $5 billion leveraged right now.
Mm-hmm. Watched any of it? I know it just started, but
no.
Okay,
not
just
a
curious.
second of it.
I'm just curious.
I'm still trying to. I'm doing the same thing that old baseball fans will do with streaming, trying to figure out where's the CW. I don't know where it is. I'm just yelling at my television, going, "Play the golf." Every time I do that, it says, "Grandpa, go take a nap." Oh, I'm not that old. Although birthday tomorrow.
That is true. It is the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Yes, the big news of the day, Aaron Rodgers going to the New York Jets, or at least he says he wants to play for the New York Jets. The deal's not done. Green Bay wants more in trade compensation from New York, according to Aaron Rodgers. And didn't he say they had a stick up their butts?
Yes. Aaron Rodgers chose violence, and I loved every second of it.
He did. Anyhow.
We also have breaking news.
Ooh, love breaking news. Here it comes.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
This was originated from Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero. The Dallas Cowboys have informed former NFL rushing champ Ezekiel Elliott. He gone.
Yep.
Of course he is. Now, I'm going to ask, it's going to sound crazy when I say it. Does he ever play another down?
Yes.
With who?
I don't know.
Rashad Penny got a base 1 year vet minimum deal, $1.35 million.
Mm-hmm.
Is he better or worse than Ezekiel Elliott right now?
I'd say they're about even.
When he's healthy, I think he's better.
Okay.
I'm not sure how many running backs you have to look at to get to Ezekiel Elliott, but it's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Especially if he's going to want any kind of salary.
And he's going to. He wouldn't come off $12 million to stay in Dallas.
Which is stupid.
Well, is it, though?
Yeah. Yeah, you take the –
Okay, so all right, hold on. But in a vacuum, I know why you're saying that. But let me ask you a question, and if I phrase this differently, you might understand it. If you're looking at your career going, I will be lucky to be the third running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's not a shot at the team. It's a shot at the running back depth chart.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got $12 million that you know you can get. He may not make $12 million for the rest of his life. I'm not sure I would have come off it either. You talk about a running back that is aged like cheese.
So that's what he's due.
Yes.
Now that they have cut him, they have to pay him $12 million.
I think it's 10 and some change. And that's not the cash number. I don't actually know the cash number.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure I would have come off it either. Because I don't see where he's going to land. There's no appeal to him whatsoever. Because the more you dig down into it Zeke's a great goal line back. No, he's not. No, he's not. I mean, it's actually pretty bad. Yeah, he scored a lot of touchdowns because he's running from the one behind one of the best offensive lines in football.
Mm-hmm.
You put him behind a bad line, he won't look like he belongs in this league.
He'll get blown up in the backfield.
He's just not any good. I mean, the pop went away fast. He aged like milk. I've never seen anything like it. It's the biggest drop-off I've ever seen from a running back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just shocked they were willing to do it.
Willing to do what?
To just release him outright. Jerry's so loyal, I thought they were going to find some way to talk themselves into bringing him back.
There's no way you could. It's
Jerry Jones.
You had two choices. It was either restructure or cut him.
And he was not hearing anything in that restructure.
And he's well within his rights, obviously, to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And if it made him more money by doing it that way, then kudos to you. Now you can go be a power back for the Arizona Cardinals. Have fun.
Or a backup to Kenny Walker with the Seattle Seahawks.
Possibly. That wouldn't be a horrible choice for them.
You remember when Sean Alexander started? He had the MVP year, and then it just fell off a cliff.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's hard to come back from 27 touchdowns.
I mean, that's the only time I've ever seen anything like this happen, where a running back was this good, and then seemingly in an off season, they just completely fell apart.
Yeah, we knew he was going to age poorly.
He was built like a running back that was going to age poorly.
Right.
He ran like a running back that was going to age poorly.
He wasn't built for longevity in this league. They gave him the massive deal, and year after year, his numbers went down, which is not surprising. Dealt with some lingering injuries here and there. Weight was a problem several times. We've heard the stories of the reports coming out of camp. At this point, he's a name. And he's not even a name that does anything for you.
No, he averaged 3.8 yards a carry last year.
Mm-hmm. Which is not the worst in the league, but it's
close.
But it's not.
Among qualifying running backs, I think it might be the worst in the league.
Really?
You got to hit up. I think it's 150 touches to qualify for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not seeing one. That doesn't mean there isn't one. So I won't be shocked if at 27 it's just over.
And it very well could be. I still feel like there's a team out there that'll do it. Somebody will pull the trigger to bring him on to the team. Cleveland Browns.
But I mean, look at the free agent running backs. How do you get there? Look how many running backs you can act. Is Kareem Hunt better than Ezekiel Elliott right now? Yes, and it's not close. Jamal Williams, Deontay Foreman.
Mm-hmm.
You got 15 more in the draft that can be rotational pieces. Why in the world would I pay Ezekiel Elliott more than the vet minimum to do anything? I won't be shocked if week one comes and goes and he's not on a roster.
Maybe not. Although I won't be shocked to see somebody pull a deal for him for $2 to $3 million. They'll give him one of these incentive-laden contracts like the Bucs just did with Baker Mayfield. Oh, he signed for $8 million. No, he agreed to a potential of $8 million.
Oh, yeah, that's
it's a $4 million base. A lot of these contracts are set up that way. Yeah, there's a potential for all this money, but really when you boil it down, it's more economical than you think.
What I was told is that every bit of that incentive, because the deal's $8.25 million. I don't know how good at math you are, but if you multiply $250,000 by 17, what's that equal?
Mm-hmm.
$4.25 million.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to start 17 games for your team. I don't know why you're not seeing that.
No, he won't.
Okay, explain to me how that's going to happen. If you had any faith in Kyle Trask, would you have brought in Baker Mayfield?
Yes. You don't send a guy from third string to starter in one offseason.
No, you could absolutely do that. Green Bay Packers are frankly doing it right now. Oh, yeah, Jordan Love was the backup because there wasn't a third quarterback on the roster. He was behind Tim Boyle for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if they had any faith he was the quarterback, you would be playing him. And ask yourself this, of all the quarterbacks that you could have brought in, and they've been hammered in love with him since the minute they could talk to a free agent, why would you bring in one that brings fanboys? Why would I not go sign Jacoby Brissett? If I wanted somebody that was just a stopgap to see what I had in Kyle Trask, why did I bring the circus with Baker Mayfield?
Would Jacoby come for 4?
Probably.
Really? Okay.
But you keep saying 4. He's going to be the starter. You're not
for
getting
3
out
games.
Of it. And you keep saying, first of all, name me the last quarterback that was benched after 3 games. I'll wait because I can't remember.
Carson Wentz, wasn't he?
He got hurt because he gets hurt. Now, I mean, if he gets hurt, then okay, I'll take everything off the table here. But you're doing everything in your power to stay competitive. Signing Levante David, bringing back Jamel Dean. This team still thinks they're the best team in the NFC, and they think Baker Mayfield's going to lead them to it.
Stupid.
I'm not saying it's not stupid. You're taking your personal bias of Baker Mayfield is awful. I didn't say I disagreed with you. but you're not thinking the way the team is, and the team makes these calls, not you. Todd Bowles thinks this team is still competitive for the division.
Because he's a
horribly,
moron.
Again, I don't disagree. But, yeah, Baker Mayfield is good. I will – all right, I'll go one step further. I'll put my money where my mouth is.
Okay.
So you're saying board bet on the wall, Kyle Trask starts more games next year than Baker Mayfield?
Yes.
I'll bet my house on it. Literally. Anything you want. My ability to have fun for the rest of my life, 3 of my ribs, my foot, and my collection of sweet hats. Anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
Baker Mayfield is your starter. You're not getting that your front office is in love with him. When I first floated this.
Which is just further proof. Bucs. Going Buck.
I don't disagree with you at all.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Jeremy's bangers for the, what is this, the North? No, the Midwest. The Midwest bracket coming up after the break.
The Big South champion UNC Asheville Bulldogs are dancing all the way to Sacramento to take on UCLA in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Brian Hall and Mike Gore will be courtside Thursday night starting at 9:30. This special tournament broadcast is brought to you by our title sponsor, Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. And also by Firehouse Subs, now hiring for Weaverville, Patton Avenue, Tunnel Road, Airport Road, and Cherokee locations. Allen's Jewelry and Pawn, Patton Avenue, Tunnel Road, and Cherokee. And Air Vent Exteriors. Expand your outdoor living space. When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
You are invited to dinner with us. Hello, my name is Stan Asher, lead pastor of Connection Point. I want to invite you to come and find hope, encounter truth, and experience love. We invite you to join us every Wednesday evening, 6:15 p.m. for a free meal followed by small groups, life-relevant Bible studies for every age group at 7 p.m. We also have an exciting children's ministry. We are located at 142 Elk Mountain Road, Asheville, North Carolina, 28804. Check us out on the web to learn more at connectionpointcog.org. We'll be looking for you.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match, only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
Hey everyone, it's Cassidy Hubbarth from ESPN.
I'm Nico Ramos, a sports broadcaster here in Manila.
Together, we have a new podcast we can't wait to share with you. Hoops Paradise, the Philippines' love of the game.
You know, there's religion, there's politics, and there's basketball. And those are the three things you talk about in the Philippines.
It's a basketball love affair like no other. Listen to Hoops Paradise, the Philippines' love of the game, on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Coffee's for closers only.
Get them the money.
Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
Yesterday, I gave you my preview for the South Regional of the NCAA tournament. This week, we'll go region by region, and I'll give you all of my favorite upsets in every bracket, a Cinderella, and our pick to make it to the Final Four to help you win all the cash in your office pool. This is Green on Green, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. Yesterday was the South, my favorite region in the tournament. Today, we continue in the West, which is probably my least favorite. Kansas is the 1 seed, and they haven't been the most consistent team in the country, and their legendary coach, Bill Self, just had a heart procedure last week. That being said, I don't really see anyone that's going to get in their way of a deep run. Arkansas is talented, but they haven't put it together all year, and counting on them to do so now would be tough. Their first real challenge would probably be the 4 seed UConn, but they take on number 13 Iona in the first round. From a sheer talent perspective, there isn't a ton of reason to back the Gales here. But they have one of the greatest coaches in the history of college basketball on their bench. Rick Pitino has 1 foot out the door on his way to St. John's, allegedly, and would love nothing more than to leave Iona with a tournament win. Dan Hurley's done a great job at UConn, but still hasn't won a game in the big dance. If they can get by Pitino, they're going to be dangerous, but that is easier said than done. Next, number 15 seed, the UNC Asheville Bulldogs take on the number 2 UCLA Bruins. Okay, call me a homer because we are in Asheville and we're really close with this program. But that's not it. Drew Pember is one of the best players in America, and he and Tajon Jones lead this Bulldog team that's one of the 10 best three-point shooting teams in the country. UCLA big man Adam Bona was the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year and on the conference's all-defensive team. But he was hurt in the Pac-12 tournament and missed their loss to Arizona. Without him and Jalen Clark, who we already know is done for the year, the Bruins would be really thin, especially down low. If a 15-seed or higher is winning a game in this tournament, it's Mike Morrell and the UNCA Bulldogs. Finally, the 5 seed, St. Mary's. This is the hardest bracket in the tournament to find a dark horse, and I really feel like Kansas is going to run through this like a hot knife through butter. But if I had to pick a team to make a run, it would be St. Mary's. Long overshadowed by conference mate Gonzaga, who oddly enough is also in this region, the Gales feel like they have closed the gap, and this could be the year they make a name for themselves on the national scene. If Iona can pull the upset in round 1, St. Mary's would not play a single-digit seed en route to a matchup with Kansas. The Jayhawks would have to open the door for them, but on an off night, St. Mary's could take advantage. It's a little thin, but in this region, it's the best I've got because it's all rock chalk Jayhawk. For more, follow us on all the social medias at The Sportsocracy. And as always, Green on Green is brought to you by Ingles Markets. Love the savings with Ingles. Love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Another night of 20s in the valley, 26 degrees with northwest winds settling down tonight. We do change the wind direction Thursday. We start a warm-up here for a late week. 63 tomorrow, not as cold tomorrow night in the 40s. And then some rain on Friday, high 56 degrees. Another shot of cold comes in for the weekend with highs in the 40s this weekend. Nighttime low temps in the low 20s, Saturday night, Sunday night. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Reset your rest at Mattress Firm's Big Spring Sale. Shop top brands today and save up to $700. Plus, get a free adjustable base with select purchases. Time to score big savings on your dream bed.
Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A. Copyright 2023.
Introducing Total by Verizon, a new prepaid wireless provider with no contract plans starting at just $30 a month. With Total by Verizon, you don't have to sacrifice reliability or freedom. Get Total by Verizon and save money every month on America's most reliable 5G network. Most reliable 5G based on most first-place rankings and Root Metrics first half 2022 assessments of 125 metros. Experiences vary, not an endorsement.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ
I'm Christine Lisi. Finally, an answer from Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers on what he plans to do in 2023. He told the Pat McAfee show he intends to play for the Jets and made that decision on Friday. Also said he's not holding up a trade. It's now up to the teams to decide on compensation. Green Bay does have the leverage over the QB-desperate Jets in that area, believes ESPN's Dan Graziano.
They have the ability to make the Jets and Aaron Rodgers wait. You can wait till the draft. Maybe the Jets decide to get impatient and give you what you want. Honestly, it is significantly more beneficial to the Packers to wait until June 2nd to trade him. Sure. Because of the $25 million difference in dead money.
The Cowboys and running back Ezekiel Elliott parting ways. He'll be a free agent. The NBA suspended Grizzlies star Ja Morant 8 games without pay for conduct detrimental to the league, according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. Suspension covers the games he's already missed, is eligible to rejoin the Grizzlies Monday. His return to games will take place soon thereafter. Morant met today with Commissioner Adam Silver over his handling of a firearm at a nightclub earlier this month.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and have the parts you need fast, along with excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere around the world on the iHeart Radio app. You can take us with you everywhere you go. You can also see us on YouTube whenever we are live here in the Ingles studio.
And if you don't have access to YouTube right now because you're driving around in your car or whatever the case may be, just imagine the faces of drama. There's the happy one, which I'm.
The comedy, yeah.
And there's the sad one, which he's.
The tragedy. Because that is what getting Baker Mayfield to your franchise brings.
If you don't tell it, I'm going to.
So I got a text message during the break from my wife.
Now, if you're new to the program and you've never heard Tank discuss his lovely wife, Andy, she knows what a football is.
Yes.
But is not exactly dialed into the sport, shall we say.
She knows some teams, and she knows some players. She obviously knows very well the Georgia Bulldogs. She obviously knows much about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, with me being the Tampa Bay fan that I am. She sent me a text message during the break that said, "Y'all got Baker Mayfield? LOL," in giant capital letters. And
he said not nice things, and it was preceded with, right. I hate everything.
Right. I was raised right. I was raised a good Southern boy. Violence against women is a no-no.
Correct.
Never, ever, under any circumstances.
But he did want to call his wife and yell.
But boy, I said there was some verbal assaulting going on.
Nobody could hear it.
No.
Except me, which elicited me to laugh a lot. We also have one of these. Jacoby Brissett, ironic because we just mentioned his name, is signing with the Washington Commanders.
Oh, okay.
It's actually a really good signing.
All right, so Jacoby Brissett comes in to back up Sam Howell.
And see, I guess this is what I was trying to tell you about Baker Mayfield. If you wanted to tell your fan base, hey, we have this young quarterback that we're going to give a shot to, I want you to think of the discrepancy in the narrative. Sam Howell is the unquestioned QB1 in Washington with Jacoby Brissett. I don't care.
And was the third stringer last year.
Correct. Unquestioned, Jacoby Brissett is not threatening to him at all. We're going to get if Brissett's the better quarterback, he'll play. Mm-hmm. But this is not threatening to Sam Howell in the least. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
I think it's going to come in about $5 million. I haven't gotten the terms yet, but that's where I think it is.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield signs with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and all of Twitter goes crazy. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There's a reason you do one and you don't do the other unless you actually think Baker Mayfield is the solution, which you do, which makes me so happy. And we have one of these.
I'm your huckleberry.
Our buddy Gage Camplin asks, where do you rank the Jets in the AFC with Aaron Rodgers? It's a doozy of a question you got there. Without thinking about it, I'd have Kansas City 1, Cincinnati 2, the Chargers 3. I'm not sure. I don't have the Jets 4.
Really?
I'm not. This is off the top of my head. Hey, who did I not say?
You said
Kansas City, Cincinnati, the Los Angeles Chargers,
Buffalo Bills.
I don't have Buffalo ahead of them.
You should.
Who has a better defense, the Bills or the Jets? It's the Jets. It's not close. Quarterback, I'm going to say I might give you a little advantage. That might be the only team in football I'll give the Jets the advantage in offensive line.
There's also something to be said for chemistry, isn't there? I mean, Aaron Rodgers is coming in. I get that the system is going to run his way because Nathaniel Hackett is. Yeah, Nathaniel
he basically
Hackett
said on
is the
McAfee, "This is
coordinator." But everybody else has got to get on board with that, right? All the other guys have to learn that. We said Aaron Rodgers can do this with anybody. Well, the start of this past season did not look good. I mean, unless you're going down the full path of Aaron Rodgers did, quote-unquote, check out like some in the Packers organization said.
Well, he was hurt, and the roster was young. Bob Brown said the Buffalo staff is better. I'm not 100% sure I agree with you.
Yeah, I think they are.
Okay, so you got a brand-new defensive coordinator because Leslie Frazier is taking a year off, which I've never seen a coach do before in my life. Sean McDermott, who we've had questions about for a couple years now, and Ken Dorsey, who might have had the most disappointing opening year I've ever seen from a coordinator that I thought was going to be a head coach. And Brian Daboll went to the Giants and took them to the playoffs.
So
I'm not going to say I'm definitively I mean, okay, if you want me to say Buffalo's is better, I don't think it's drastically better.
No. I just think they're better.
I'm not so sure I do.
I would have Buffalo ahead of them. You can't do anything with Baltimore because you don't know how the Lamar thing is going to shake
Lamar
out.
goes back to Baltimore. Are they better than the Jets right now? I'm going to say no.
Maybe.
I've got 2 years in a row I've had Tyler Huntley, who they just gave a right of first refusal tender. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not concerned there.
I think they're close.
I'm going to stick with fourth the more I've sat here and thought about it.
Okay. Jacksonville.
That was the one that I think the Jets are better defensively. Jacksonville's probably better offensively. That's a staff that I will say is better than the Jets. 4 or 5. It's one or the other.
Somewhere in there. And you are yes, a quote-unquote contender. Doesn't mean you're a favorite. I think everybody jumps to you're setting yourself up for failure. Yeah. I'd rather be in contention for a Super Bowl than not be. That's where the Jets have lived for the last, 40 years of we're not really in contention. We might shock you and get to an AFC championship game. Yeah, but we're not going to get it done.
This is the first time I've had legit hope since Rex Ryan.
Yeah.
We are 8 minutes into the official league year of 2023 in the NFL.
Right. That is right.
Which means the Carolina Panthers have officially traded for the number 1 pick.
That's good.
And it's ironic timing because we have a draft thing to talk about.
And I wonder also, this is the big thing was 4 o'clock today was when teams can start calling
Lamar
Jackson's mom. So let's see how that goes.
I do love that you just said that way.
Did I tell any lies?
No, there were no lies told. It was just funny how you said it.
Well, I mean, I think the whole situation's funny, but that's a discussion for another day.
Kind of is.
Anyway, drafty things. So Jalen Carter's had a hell of an offseason. It's not gone well.
I've seen worse.
Yeah,
but not a ton.
Yeah, it's not gone well since the Bulldogs won the national championship because there was the wreck. Obviously, he gets tied to the wreck. He was on the scene. He was involved in some kind of racing activity when in a wreck where
lied to police.
A recruiting staffer and a player on the Georgia team were killed in the car crash. He kept changing his story with police, and then the charges got filed and all that. He comes to the combine. He doesn't do anything. And
comes back, so he has to go. He has to go turn himself in.
Mm-hmm.
He flies back to Indianapolis. He answers everybody's questions, and so then we turned our eyes to the pro day.
Mm-hmm.
What is the one thing you couldn't do at the pro day?
Blow it.
And his was awful.
He came in 9 pounds heavier than he weighed in at the combine.
And you could have told me. I obviously didn't see them weigh him. You could have told me he was 25 pounds heavier because he looked awful.
He only did position drills. He did not do the 40-yard dash or the cone drills, any of the ancillary stuff.
And he couldn't finish the on the field because he was so out of breath.
Mm-hmm. He was cramping up.
He was so out of shape. It was pitiful.
And maybe it was hot. They're indoors. They have a nice, beautiful $1 billion facility down there where they practice indoors. So you got to take that out of it.
Yeah, that's not the problem. The problem is, so when we say character red flags, this is the living embodiment of what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you an example. Can't disclose who I was talking to this about, but I was talking on the phone with someone last night.
Okay.
And the topic of drug tests came up. Business owner, talking about business things. One of the things that always blew my mind, as somebody that hired a lot of people in my life, it blew my mind how many people would come go through all of the interview process, knowing damn well that I'm giving you a drug test before your employment has been verified,
mm-hmm.
and then fail it.
Mm-hmm.
Blow my mind. You know this is coming. This is not like I surprised you and you had fun times on a Friday night. I can forgive that. You knew perfectly well this was coming. And you're out of shape.
Mm-hmm.
You know all of the things that teams are wrestling around in their brain, all of the things that morons like me have said because we're all talking about it behind closed doors. And then you show up to your pro day so grossly out of shape that you can't finish a routine that you put in place. I'm going to say this, and I mean it. If I was an NFL team, Jalen Carter is not on my board. Off the board entirely. I don't care how far you fall.
Interesting.
I'm not going to deal with this. I think he's a good player.
Mm-hmm.
I've never said great. I've told you from Jump Street the production bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody in our YouTube comments over the past couple days said something about, well, he only had 6 sacks. Look at the talent around him. That's exactly my point. It would be one thing if you were the only player on this defense and you didn't have a lot of sacks because you got double teamed all the time. You never got double teamed because they couldn't double team you. So all of those things already bothered me anyway. And now I see this. I'm not sure you're committed to this. That's the number one thing people have told me behind closed doors throughout the entire process.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know that football is the most important thing to him. And now you're telling me I'm going to use a top 10 pick on him? Crest out. Out. Look at how Christian Gonzalez showed up to his pro day and absolutely crushed it. That's the kind of guy I want to take in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's the guy I want to use a top 10 pick on because I know what I'm getting there. This is a kid that loves this game, has fought his entire life to get here, and is making the most of this opportunity. Jalen Carter looks like he thought he could just show up and he would go in the top 5.
Absolutely.
And now it is not the case.
And we've got a super chat from Gage Camplin.
I'm your huckleberry.
Is Carter taking advantage of the draft hype? Absolutely. That's what this is. They're talking about you as a number 1 overall draft pick, and then the crash happens, and then you got people like me and Jeremy who keep talking like, well, I mean, is it really as bad to his draft stock as we think? I mean, he'll probably still be a top 5 pick because of the talent, blah, 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 blah. It's easy for a young kid who's getting ready to cash in that check and go pro to go, maybe I don't need to do this. Maybe I don't need to work as hard as I did last year.
And that terrifies me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can give you 100 examples of guys that just did some things like this where they weren't necessarily prepared, looked a little out of shape. Then they get to the league, then they get paid, and they never see a second contract.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that's going to happen with Jalen Carter. I'm saying if I was a GM and I am hedging my career on a kid I'm taking in the top 10, there is no way that guy's Jalen Carter. None.
So he'll be a Raider.
I saw somebody said that in the comments. Colin Greene said that in the comments.
Yeah. Colin Greene said that in the YouTube comments.
It wouldn't shock me. If I'm being 100% honest with you, it wouldn't shock me at all.
Right.
If the Raiders just bypassed the quarterback, and that's exactly what they did.
I hate to see it. I hate to see it, a kid with that kind of potential because, he didn't have the production numbers, but I think it was because he was surrounded by all of that talent that he didn't have the production numbers. Yeah, he really couldn't be double-teamed on every play, but there were quite a few double teams on him. Yeah, he gets pressure in the backfield. You got two other dogs that are right there with you to clean up that. To clean up that play.
It's the Bud Dupree rule.
Yeah, you're not going to get that production. You're not going to get the credit, but the disruption, I'm sure I don't know what his pass rush win rate was and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure it was off the charts. He's a hell of an athlete. And I wish to God this was going to go better for him.
Well, what you just said is the Bud Dupree rule. Mm-hmm. If you remember when Tennessee signed him, I laughed out loud and went, this is not going to go your way. And guess what? It didn't.
It didn't.
Because if you are a good pass rusher, you are the finality of a play quite a bit. So the fact that you get you get the pass rush wins, and then somebody cleans it up, okay, that can work when you're surrounded by great players. You know when that doesn't work? When you go to a team that's picking in the top 5 that has a lack of talent and they expect you to be the best player on the defense.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly what happened to Bud Dupree. He got pressure in Pittsburgh. He didn't get nearly as much in Tennessee, and then he got hurt. So, I would be scared to death.
So in the YouTube comments, Alex Majabi asked the important question. What's his floor now?
The floor.
Is it outside the top? Is it outside the first round?
Oh, no, he's not falling out of the first round. This draft's not good enough.
20-something.
20 at Seattle. I would say that second Seattle pick's probably is.
And good Lord, could you imagine that? If Seattle stays in these slots, they get Will Anderson at 5, and then at 20 they got a chance to get Jalen Carter as well. That's the kind of situation he wants to go into, though.
No doubt.
That's the kind of situation that you want to see a kid like this go into with a strong masthead figure as the head coach. Don't take guff off no players kind of guy.
Or a vet in the room.
Yeah.
I want to see you somewhere that Joshua Brooks said he'll be a Chicago Bear. With what they've done in free agency, I don't hate that.
Mm-hmm.
You've got some vet guys that were not highly drafted. TJ Edwards is the one I'm specifically thinking of, that just worked their hindquarters off to get the money deal, and that's the kind of guy I want in Jalen Carter's ear.
Mm-hmm. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slow approaching Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Haywood County, 40 westbound crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Smoky Park Highway moving incident-free. Patton Avenue, no problems. New Leicester Highway, no backups. Hendersonville Road moving well. Checking the drive time from downtown Asheville to Asheville Regional Airport via 240 westbound and 26 eastbound. Drive time 19 minutes. I'm Lee Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The double steak grilled cheese burrito is now at Taco Bell. 2 servings of grilled marinated steak and a melty 3-cheese layer inside, plus grilled bubbly cheese on the outside. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact local stores for prices, hours, and participation which vary. Tax extra.
Make plans now to attend the Community Open House at Reynolds Mountain Christian Academy, March 16th from 5 to 7 p.m. Learn about what true Christian education can mean to your student and your family. Call Reynolds Christian Academy to schedule Schedule your appointment. 828-645-8053.
Wendy's 2 for $6 lets you mix and match some of our best items, like Dave Single with a 10-piece crispy nugs, medium strawberry lemonade with a spicy chicken sandwich, spicy chicken with a Dave Single with a strawberry lemonade, strawberry lemonade, if you're into that. Chicken Sam, crispy nugs, strawberry lemonade, Dave's, nugs, Sam. Whew. Pick what you want at a price you want. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's 2 for $6.
For a limited time, price and participation may vary at U.S. Wendy's. On the card only. Single item at regular price. I switched to Boost Mobile and got a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Want to know the best part?
It was free?
Nope.
The fact that it's on America's largest 5G networks?
Nope. It's the ding.
Oh, yeah. Love the ding.
Right? It's all about the ding. It's the dingarooski, the dingaroner, the ring-a-ding-ding.
Unleash your power to save with Boost. Get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone when you switch. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power.
And the ding.
Limited time offer. New customers only. Available on select networks. 5G not available everywhere. One device per line. Tax excluded. Additional restrictions apply. See your local Boost Mobile store for details.
It's time to discover the convenience and time savings of contact-free pickup with Ingles Curbside. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app. And your Ingles personal shopper gets to work with specialized training on how to select the freshest items for a pre-scheduled pickup. They'll even text you with updates. You pull up to a designated space and your personal shopper delivers your items right to your vehicle. Fresh, fast, and affordable. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, coming to you live from the Ingles Studio. It is, Aaron Rodgers' watch is over. Now we're just waiting for the deal to drop.
Now it's Aaron Rodgers' trade watch.
Right, now it's compensation watch to see what's going to happen, because we know that Aaron Rodgers wants to be with the New York Jets this upcoming season. Time for Parched Madness.
Which is, by the way, the more I think of that, I love that.
It is the Sportsocracy. We are Beer City's best sports talk, and we like to imbibe in an adult beverage or two every now and then.
And one of our favorite things to do is brackets of things that you would talk about at a bar.
That's right. And this year we are going with greatest professional wrestlers of all time. We will do a full 64-man bracket. And then we will narrow it down. We'll have social media voting on all of it, just
TikTok,
like we did
all
with
the things. We've got some fun stuff.
Just
planned.
like we did with the overrated bands bracket last year. This year we're going to do greatest of all time professional wrestler. Now, Jeremy, you and Football Farley, Brian Haynes were sitting down last night, and you guys were talking about some of the seeding of this tournament.
It wasn't just us, so we put a graphic out on social media of who is the greatest of all time, and we kind of crowdsourced it. And I think I can officially tell you the 1 seeds.
Okay.
Ric Flair
is number 1 overall.
He is. He was on practically every comment we got.
He is your Alabama Crimson Tide of this tournament.
So Ric Flair is a 1. Hulk Hogan is a 1.
Yes, no doubt.
The Rock is a 1.
Uh-huh.
And Stone Cold Steve Austin is a 1.
Perfect. You got the top 4. I mean, when you think about, because here's the thing. When you talk about professional wrestlers, there's so many different aspects to being a professional wrestler. There is your in-ring performance. Are you athletic? Are you high flyer? All that kind of stuff. Are you technically sound? Are you going to get other guys hurt? That's a big one for me. of just wrestlers come and go that you go, good God, it's got to be awful to work with a guy like that who just doesn't know what he's doing.
Correct.
Then you've got the persona. You've got the promos and such. Is he good on the mic? Does he have the rapport with the fans? And then the impact on the business. Now, Hulk Hogan didn't have great marks in all of those.
I have to tell you, I absolutely hate Hulk Hogan being a 1 seed, and I fought it tooth and nail. You can blame the formerly fat guy across from me for Hulk Hogan.
You cannot deny
because
it.
in the comments, everybody is, what about The Undertaker? That's the exact one I was fighting for.
Yeah, no.
And he looked at me like I was on drugs. That's on him. So guess what? He's in the same bracket as Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. He will be the top number 2 seed. But you can't have this and not have Hulk Hogan be a number 1 seed. He was professional wrestling. What? You grimaced.
I did,
please,
because I think there were
me.
2 that should have been in front of him. The Undertaker was 1, Sting's the other.
No.
Those should both be 1s. And in the comments, they're agreeing with me, too.
Yeah, no.
Notorious B.I.G. said no Cena. He is also a 2, which Tank fought aggressively.
What?
Cena being a 2.
Oh, stop that.
Yeah, it is.
Not even close.
It is.
He might have been good. He might have been good on the mic, but other than that, I mean, he was an okay athlete.
See, this exact discussion, which, by the way, the chat is going faster now than it did when we were talking about Aaron Rodgers, which I find to be really funny. This is why we do things like this.
Bob Brown, seen as a 4 seed. What did I tell you?
You said a 6, but
no, I said 6 for Goldberg.
Oh yeah,
you
that's
tried
right.
to throw me Goldberg as a possible 1, and I went, "You're out of your mind."
Yeah,
that guy was terrible. He had 2 things going for him. 1, he was real big, and 2, I mean, they pushed
strong.
him like no one else.
So I might have said Goldberg just because today is the day before my birthday. The Jets just got the greatest quarterback in their franchise history. And you just tied yourself to Baker Mayfield. And I went, what could possibly push him over the edge of telling me to go fornicate with myself? Bill Goldberg is a 2, and I might have done that on purpose. I don't do that often, but I do sometimes, and today was one of those days.
Yeah, no, not even close.
Lance Dominguez said, what a great discussion. Oh, just wait till you see how we unveil this bracket, which is going to be a whole mess of fun.
Joshua Brooks says Goldberg shouldn't even be in the bracket.
Now,
I'm not going that far. You can't name 64 wrestlers that were better than Bill Goldberg.
Could I? No, you're probably right. Brian Haynes gave me a list with 110 names on it.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Football Farley. Frankly, there is nobody on this planet that I've ever seen put more time and energy into something than this bracket. Bob Brown's asked, where's the bracket? That will be unveiled tomorrow. That will be a sizable amount of tomorrow's show. Yes, it's March Madness. We're going to do the live updates of the games as they happen.
Yep.
You may accidentally get to hear Jeremy say something on radio he's not supposed to, because I wager a lot of these games, and they'll be happening as we go.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
It is, but so the 1 seeds, I'm in full agreement here. You had to push Hulk Hogan to the top because he was the business.
I didn't have to do anything, but frankly, you whined about it enough, and I really felt like you needed a win today. I mean, your wife went weight room on you about Baker Mayfield, and that's when I definitively went, okay, Hulk's a 1.
Undertaker was close, so he's the top 2 seed. Then Shawn Michaels has to be a 2.
Shawn Michaels is a 2.
I would have Bret Hart as a 2.
He is not a 2.
Oh, that's wrong.
He's not a 2.
That is so wrong.
He's not a 2 because he was boring as Melba Toast. Okay? He is the Ritz cracker of professional wrestling. Mm-hmm. You get me to 4, you're not getting me any higher there. Not happening.
Oh, you're wrong. You're so wrong. A 4. I can't wait to hear who you have ahead of him.
Just have to wait till tomorrow. Bob Brown said he sent his bracket to you. We appreciate the legwork there, and we'll totally take that into account because the bracket is not completely done yet.
Okay.
The selection committee still has to meet tonight, by the way, after the show. Welcome to the selection committee. You have been nominated. Congratulations. This is a great honor. And I hope you take it with the importance and the integrity and that it deserves.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Another night of 20s in the valley, 26 degrees with northwest winds settling down tonight. We do change the wind direction Thursday. We start a warm up here for a late week. 63 tomorrow, not as cold tomorrow night in the 40s. And then some rain on Friday, high 56 degrees. Another shot of cold comes in for the weekend with highs in the 40s this weekend. Nighttime low temps in the low 20s Saturday night, Sunday night. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slow approaching Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Haywood County, 40 westbound crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Smoky Park Highway moving incident-free. Patton Avenue, no problems. New Leicester Highway, no backups. Hendersonville Road moving well. Checking the drive time from downtown Asheville to Asheville Regional Airport via 240 westbound and 26 eastbound, drive time 19 minutes. I'm Lee Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You do anything to keep your vehicle happy. Let's make sure it stays running smoothly. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, the right parts are just a click away. When you see the green check, you know that part will fit. Get the right parts at the right price. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Tara, quote, "My doctor wanted me to do saline rinses for my allergies, but I've never been able to successfully use a neti pot. Navage uses suction power, so it's foolproof. There are nights when I'll have particularly bothersome allergies. I'll bust it out, and the results are immediate. It's such a relief. It's become a lifesaver." Unquote. She's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Did you know that Ingles sells more organics than any other grocery store? Or that they run their own dairy? Or that they only serve USDA Choice and Prime meat? Or that they donate 3,956 meals a day to local food banks? Well, now you do. It's all in the bag.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
All right, I had a snake story, but I'm not really going to tell it. Guess what? Somebody found a whole bunch of snake eggs in their basement in Australia, venomous snake eggs, and burned the house down.
That's like somebody finding a patchouli bottle in Asheville. No kidding.
Right.
You don't say.
But you don't see this very often. This one comes to us from Rodanthe, North Carolina. Do you know where that is?
I have lived in the state for much of my life. I have never heard that city before.
Rodanthe it's an island. It's on the Outer Banks. They made a movie about it. You've never seen it because you don't see movies.
Nope.
Your wife probably has. It was a chick flick. Anyway, Rodanthe is an island on the Outer Banks. And there was a strange discovery the other day. On Monday, Kyle Barniak was walking along the beach north of the Rodanthe Pier, and he thought he did see something weird on the shoreline, but what he thought was a piece of a house, because some of the houses on the Outer Banks have been, they've been succumbing to the surf lately. And just the other day, a $400,000 house just slipped away into the ocean. So he thought maybe this was a piece of the house that had just been taken over by Mother Nature. But it was not. As he got closer to it, he saw the orange thing on the beach was actually a boat. And it was stamped property of the U.S. Navy. So there was a number on the back that he called to say, hey, did y'all lose a boat? And the answer was unequivocally, yes, we did, and we're glad that you found it. So this boat, it doesn't really have anything on it, or didn't have anything on it. It wasn't like, bogged down with a whole bunch of, Coast Guard tech and stuff. This was a dummy boat that they used in training exercises. Well, we don't know what the exact story is, if there like a big storm came and it got dislodged from where it was supposed to be anchored and just floated away. But it did belong to the U.S. Navy, and floated down from Norfolk about 100 miles south to Rodanthe. So the guy calls. He says, hey, found your boat. They went, great. We'll come by and pick it up. He went back the next day, and it was gone. You would probably assume, like I would assume, that the Navy came and got their boat. Not the case. Not the case, because the U.S. Navy says we still would like to have that boat back. So in the middle of the night, somebody went and stole the boat, despite being tagged property of the U.S. Navy. Somebody is probably going to use it for a hunting boat or something. And I'm pretty sure you're going to face crimes if you get caught with that boat.
My story comes from the capital of Thailand, which is a lovely city named Bangkok.
Mm-hmm.
There's a power plant. It's a decommissioned power plant. Doesn't still do things. There was a long cylinder, 30 centimeters long, so that's about a foot, contained radioactive material containing cesium-137. It is very dangerous if it is in public areas, because it can kill you. Well, somehow somebody got into this. They went into this power plant for whatever reason, we do not know. It's gone, and they can't. The government can't find it. They know it has been taken from this site.
Mm-hmm.
They do not know by who. They do not know why. They're having to put out an all-points bulletin in the entire country of, if you find this, get away from it immediately. There's enough radiation issues in this to kill anybody within 100 feet of it.
Wow.
If it's not handled appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
And this led me to ask, this is the second story almost exactly like this I've told in the last 2 weeks. Stop losing things like this.
You would think there'd be a higher priority.
Put them in containment.
On security.
Don't leave them outside so Billy Bob can go procure it and go, hey, look what I got. It's a pipe, and it glows. I put it next to my lava lamp. Aaron Rodgers is coming over later. We're going to enjoy this. So stupid.
Oh, man, the chat is having so much fun with this wrestler bracket.
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you.
This is a great idea.
It was Kevin Vick's idea. He was the originator of this, and we must give him all the credit because it was a phenomenal idea.
Right. If you have suggestions for the GOAT professional wrestler bracket, you can send those to us. Bob Brown sent me his bracket. He actually did a bracket and put our logo on it,
which is awesome. That's commitment.
He went full Jeremy and was trying to take over, do your techie stuff.
Which hey, I don't do it because I love it. I do it because I'm the only one that does it.
I got some questions about some of the seating on this, but I give you extra points for going through and doing the branding work. It's a great job by you, Bob. So, anyway, get those suggestions in. We will fight about this for weeks to come.
Oh, it's going to be so good.
There is no doubt about that. NCAA tournament started last night. Did anybody notice?
I watched the end of both because it was on in the bar I was in, Village Porch, which I will also be in Friday, by the way, doing birthday things a day late.
Yeah.
So if you want to show up and watch, if you want to bail out of work, I'll give you a handwritten note like it was from a doctor. Just won't say doctor.
Yeah, I may have to.
I'm not a doctor.
We may have to make that a thing, an official off day for the Sportsocracy.
You may get a letter from a doctor of mulletology, but I don't know if that will fool your employer. If it does, you probably need to find a new job.
Right.
Little work for us.
I don't know if it's just this. If it's just the season, or if it's just the state of college basketball, or if it's just time has worn me down. Like, I used to care. I used to care about the first four. Like, it'd be great matchups. And
I've never cared about the first four.
I never cared about the 16 seed games unless UNC Asheville was playing.
I've never
and
cared
had a chance to win. But like the 11 seed games, typically pretty good. And last night was a 1-point thriller. Pittsburgh coming up with a win over Mississippi State.
They were both close. And I watched about 2 grand minutes of both, the last minute.
Mm-hmm. Got 2 more games tonight in the first 4 before the tournament starts in earnest tomorrow. And, of course, don't forget, 10:05 is the scheduled tip time, 9:30 tomorrow night right here on ESPN Asheville with Flostradamus, Jeremy Greene, running the board and doing your pregame, postgame, and your halftime, as Brian Hall and Mike Gore will be courtside in Sacramento for the 15th-seeded UNC Asheville Bulldogs taking on the 2nd-seeded UCLA Bruins. Brian sent me a picture yesterday. They're practicing in the Sacramento Kings practice facility, and that is pretty cool. That is pretty awesome. So the tournament getting underway in earnest tomorrow, and we'll have all of your updates throughout the program right here on ESPN Asheville. But as we continue to follow all of the moves in the NFL offseason so far, Hayden Hurst
signing with the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, he's going to the Panthers, and he's getting what did you say? Was the deal 3 years for
$21.75 million?
That's not a bad. It's not a bad pickup.
I mean, it's not terrible. The best year he's ever had was with Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason for that. Oh, look, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd and Joe Mixon. Oh, yeah, and Hayden Hurst. Don't think he's going to have that problem in Carolina.
Well, Hayden Hurst immediately becomes the best tight end since Greg Olsen left. So.
Correct. That says more about the other tight ends than it does about Hayden Hurst.
Well, I mean, there's only been 2 of them.
Tommy Tremble, Ian Thomas.
And a message, repeat the line.
Ooh. Ooh.
But finally, you have a tight end. Now, granted, he's not going to score 10 touchdowns next year. At least I don't think he is. But I guess there is always that possibility.
They've also got Adam Thielen coming in, too.
The Panthers?
Yeah.
I had not seen that.
He's either in today or he was in yesterday.
Oh, he's visiting.
Yes.
So they
haven't signed him.
Okay.
He's just visiting the facility.
Okay.
But they were the first team he's visiting, which I would say says a lot.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, there's a clear need at wide receiver now that you got rid of DJ Moore. You send him off to Chicago, and now you got nobody.
Yeah, and I'm not. They should be calling DeAndre Hopkins.
Absolutely.
Or calling Arizona about DeAndre Hopkins.
You need to figure out something. You need to, I mean, obviously you're going to draft a quarterback at number 1. So if it's Bryce Young, if it's Anthony Richardson, if it's C.J. Stroud,
you got to give him weapons.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that made me the most nervous. Which you gave up the one receiver you really had. But I mean, I see what you're doing, adding Hayden Hurst, bringing in Adam Thielen. I think he would be a decent enough
reliable targets. Guys that I know if he gets it close, they're probably going to reel it in. I don't need to go big game hunting necessarily yet. I need solid pass catchers.
Well, I mean, there's no doubt Carolina's taking a longer approach here. They know you're going to have it's going to be a bumpy road with a rookie quarterback. And so as opposed to jumping out of line, I didn't feel like the numbers on Hayden Hurst were bad. I don't think the numbers on Adam Thielen will be bad if they can make it work.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, I'm perfectly fine with that. You got Andy Dalton. I didn't love the money you gave him, but having him to back up whoever the rookie is, I see what you're doing.
Yeah, you could do worse.
Carolina has a plan. That's, for me, that's really all I ever ask.
Mm-hmm.
It's teams like the Houston Texans that I never can wrap my brain around. So you spent $10.5 million on Sheldon Rankins. You had money, and you're continuing to do that thing that you've done for the last 3 years, which is just bit by bit, piece out every random player that will take your money. That's why you've been terrible forever.
Is that what they're doing, or was this a strategic signing? Is this a DeMeco Ryans guy? Does he want? Does he have to have Sheldon Rankins as a piece of his defensive game plan going forward? I don't know.
As somebody that watched Sheldon Rankins last year, he was good, and I was sad when he was signed away. He had injury issues, which he has for a long time. But when I saw the number, I went, "Oh yeah, we weren't doing that." Sheldon Rankins wasn't getting half of what Quinnen Williams is going to get.
Mm-hmm. So the Carolina Panthers, on top of adding the number 1 pick in the draft, they've also added Von Bell. They've also added Shy Tuttle to the defensive line. They agreed to terms with Bozeman, Bradley Bozeman, the center. And
so, I mean, you've got all 5 starters last year from the offensive line coming back.
And I don't necessarily hate that. The line improved. Obviously, they were pretty good at run blocking.
It did, and I mean, I think you'll be fine next year. I like that you're bringing everybody back.
Mm-hmm. The question is, who's going to be your running back? Are you gonna bring back Deontay Foreman?
It's just that market has started so slowly. That's why I was dumbfounded that the Lions gave $6 million a year to David Montgomery.
Yeah. I don't feel like that's a gross overpay.
It's a gross overpay. It is a gross overpay. The fact you gave 3 years to any running back is slightly bothersome to me. The fact you did it to one that has been genuinely awful over the last 2 years. But the Bears were bad. Okay, Khalil Herbert's on line 1, and he would like a word because he was not awful. There's a reason they let David Montgomery walk with absolutely no opposition to it. That was a weird sign. I think Carolina probably re-signs Deontay Foreman if I had a wager. May draft one.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I think Carolina's going to be fine. You're probably not going to be the best team in this division. That's pretty comfortably New Orleans to me.
I would agree.
For at least a year. But you're on the right path.
Mm-hmm. It is the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. And it's time for Jeremy's Bangers of the tournament coming up after the break here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Chuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound, stop and go, approaching Airport Road, continuing to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Haywood County, 40 westbound, crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road, no problems. Near Avery Creek Boulevard Road, northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Checking the drive time from Swannanoa to Asheville via 40 westbound and 240 westbound. Drive time 18 minutes. I'm Lee Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You do anything to keep your vehicle happy. Let's make sure it stays running smoothly. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, the right parts are just a click away. When you see the green check, you know that part will fit. Get the right parts at the right price. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The Big South champion UNC Asheville Bulldogs are dancing all the way to Sacramento to take on UCLA in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Brian Hall and Mike Gore will be courtside Thursday night starting at 9:30. This special tournament broadcast is brought to you by our title sponsor, Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. And also by Firehouse Subs, now hiring for Weaverville, Patton Avenue, Tunnel Road, Airport Road, and Cherokee locations. Allen's Jewelry and Pawn, Patton Avenue, Tunnel Road, and Cherokee. And Air Vent Exteriors. Expand your outdoor living space.
Wendy's 2 for $6 lets you mix and match some of our best items, like Dave Single with a 10-piece crispy nugs, medium strawberry lemonade with a spicy chicken sandwich, spicy chicken with a Dave Single with a strawberry lemonade, strawberry lemonade, if you're into that. Chicken Sam, crispy nugs, strawberry lemonade, Dave's, nugs, Sam. Whew. Pick what you want at a price you want. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's 2 for $6.
For a limited time, price and participation may vary at U.S. Wendy's. On the card only. Single item at regular price.
Need weekend plans? Check out what's happening in your local Lowe's. Weekending at Lowe's gives you and your family the opportunity to make us your weekend destination. Stop by for free workshops, events, and activities for everyone to enjoy. We're getting active with fun local events like our upcoming Lowe's Bucket Ball Challenge and Kids Workshop. Visit Lowe's.com/events for our full event lineup. Count on Lowe's for all of your home improvement needs. And now, activities in your community with Weekending at Lowe's.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
Coffee closes on. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
Yesterday, I gave you my preview for the West Regional of the NCAA tournament. Throughout this week, we have been and will continue to go region by region, and I will give you my favorite upset in every bracket, a Cinderella, and our pick to make it to the Final Four to help you win all the cash in your office pool. This is Green on Green, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. Yesterday was the West, which I didn't love. Today, it's the Midwest. And I'm not going to lie to you, this might be the weirdest bracket I've ever seen. Your number 1 seed is Houston, who may or may not have their best player, Marcus Sasser. With him, they are a Final Four contender. Without him, they may not get out of the first weekend. What that means is this is probably the bracket that determines who's going to win your office pool. There are a couple teams that a lot of people seem to be on. Drake against Miami. I cannot emphasize this enough. Do not do this to yourself. This will be a common 12/5, and it is a terrible decision. I like Drake. They have one high-end player. Miami has more. They score easily. They score often. And while this game will probably be close, I don't see any way that Drake comes out on top. However, on the other side of that same sub-regional, there's a little team, Kent State, taking on Indiana. Indiana has one player that is really high level. Kent State scores a ton of points, and I'm not sure Indiana can keep up with them. I agree that there is an upset that comes out of this quad. I just think people are picking the wrong double-digit seed. Give me Kent State. With Pittsburgh winning in the first 4, now they take on an Iowa State team that had to kick one of the best players off the team, and that leads me to think that they might be vulnerable. I didn't want to pick this before I knew who was playing the Cyclones, but I feel like Pittsburgh is talented enough that they could pull the upset here. Texas A&M was grossly underseeded, but even when they beat Penn State, they will come up against Texas, who is my favorite to win this bracket and one of my favorite picks to win the entire tournament. You're still catching good numbers on the Longhorns because people don't seem to understand that even with an interim coach, they're playing better basketball than they ever played under Chris Beard. Tomorrow we wrap it all up with the East, and I will tell you, before I can get to that, Oral Roberts plays Duke, and they're one of my favorites to pull the upset. For more, follow us on all the social medias at The Sportsocracy. And as always, Green on Green is brought to you by Ingles Markets. Love the savings with Ingles. Love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Another night of 20s in the valley, 26 degrees with northwest winds settling down tonight. We do change the wind direction Thursday. We start a warm-up here for a late week. 63 tomorrow, not as cold tomorrow night in the 40s. And then some rain on Friday, high 56 degrees. Another shot of cold comes in for the weekend with highs in the 40s this weekend. Nighttime low temps in the low 20s, Saturday night, Sunday night. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Chun's Cove Road and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound, stop and go, approaching Airport Road, continuing to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Haywood County, 40 westbound, crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road, no problems. Near Avery Creek Boulevard Road, northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Checking the drive time from Swannanoa to Asheville via 40 westbound and 240 westbound. Drive time 18 minutes. I'm Lee Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
The double steak grilled cheese burrito is now at Taco Bell. 2 servings of grilled marinated steak and a melty 3-cheese layer inside, plus grilled bubbly cheese on the outside. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact local stores for prices, hours, and participation which vary. Tax extra. The double steak grilled cheese burrito is now at Taco Bell. 2 servings of grilled marinated steak and a melty 3-cheese layer inside, plus grilled bubbly cheese on the outside. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact local stores for prices, hours, and participation which vary. Tax extra.
Make plans now to attend the community open house at Reynolds Mountain Christian Academy, March 16th from 5 to 7 p.m. Learn about what true Christian education can mean to your student and your family. Call Reynolds Christian Academy to schedule your appointment, 828-645-8053.
Have your outdoors and running water, too. With Luxury Lou, the tasteful solution to portable bathroom rentals. Family-owned and local, Luxury Lou Rental provides modern bathrooms on the go with running water, AC and heating, flushable toilets, and elegant designs. Luxury Lou's are perfect for weddings, corporate events, remodels, and more. Don't leave your well-dressed guests to use a dirty porta-potty John.
Ew.
Turn to Asheville natives. Luxury Lou. Visit LuxuryLousRental.com.
I realize the complexities of the human body and its ability to heal itself.
That's orthopedic surgeon Dr. John Herzog talking about regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics.
It's a very well thought out process, and they use it in all the professional teams around the world.
Regenerative medicine uses healing agents from your own body, like your blood or bone marrow, highly concentrated and delivered right to the achy joint.
By putting it in the spot where it can't normally get to, you can facilitate healing.
At QC Kinetics, they are the nation's leader in this exciting field of medicine. Lasting pain relief with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery.
People are very happy to have an opportunity to get better without going through the entirety of a medical procedure.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain are no longer the only ways. Learn more about regenerative options that could help you get your life back. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
An evening with Larry the Cable Guy.
It's a cool anniversary for me tonight. This is my 27th year in the comedy business, and it's my 5th year being funny, so I'm excited about both of them, all right?
June 14th, Thomas Wolfe Auditorium. On sale now. Tickets available at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville.com, or the venue box office.
Get her done.
Proudly presented by 99.9 KISS Country.
Did you hear about Taco Bell's apology? Yeah, they apologized for going too far with their breakfast. Like the naked egg taco and chicken biscuit nachos? It was too much. All you need in the morning is tasty, simple food. Like the breakfast crunch wrap. Fluffy eggs, melty cheese, sausage, crispy hash browns, wrapped in a warm tortilla. Or, as some call it, a breakfast crunch thing. Grab one today, only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell stores during breakfast hours only until 11 a.m. while supplies last. Contact local store for hours and participation, which vary.
Careless debris burning is the leading cause of wildfires in North Carolina. Before you burn, take a look at the weather and avoid burning on dry, windy days. Never leave your fire unattended. You are the best defense against wildfires. Learn more at ncforestservice.gov.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
He's a degenerate.
I'm Christine Lisi.
At this point, as I sit here, I think since Friday, I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers on the Pat McAfee show today declaring his plans for the 2023 season. He said he's not holding up a trade. The teams now need to work on the final stages of a deal, which would include restructuring his contract and agreeing on trade compensation. Rodgers also said he's not upset about Green Bay's decision to move on to quarterback Jordan Love. The Cowboys released running back Ezekiel Elliott, making him a free agent. Receiver Juju Smith-Schuster expected to sign a 3-year, $33 million deal with the Patriots. The NBA suspended Grizzlies star Ja Morant 8 games without pay for conduct detrimental to the league. According to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, the suspension covers the 6 games he'll miss, including tonight's matchup against Dallas. He's eligible to rejoin the Grizzlies Monday. His return to games will take place soon thereafter. Morant met today with Commissioner Adam Silver over his handling of a firearm at a suburban Denver nightclub earlier this month.
Need to spring back into hiring season? You need Indeed, the smart hiring platform that delivers 4 times more hires than all other sites combined, according to Talent Nest. Post a job and hire ASAP. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy, third hour of the program here on a Wednesday. We've got, NFL free agency hot and heavy. Jeremy got what he wanted today. If you're just joining us, if you just tuned in to the sports thing, you've been at work all day, Aaron Rodgers went on the Pat McAfee show this morning, or I guess this afternoon at 1 o'clock, and did tell us that the Packers, well, they're trying to get more out of the New York Jets. It's not Aaron Rodgers that's holding up this deal. He wants to be a New York Jet, which means the deal's going to get done very, very soon. That's the number one story of the day. The number two story of the day is Parched Madness is back, baby.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And we battled this back and forth because we battled this back and forth. And
that's what we do.
It is what we do. And our rankings are very different. So we had to do that thing that we sometimes do, which is names on the door.
Yes.
It's Parched Madness. This is our version of March Madness. So what comes with that? Automatic seeds.
Yes, automatic bids into the Parched Madness tournament this year instead of movies or overrated bands, or we're doing greatest of all time professional wrestler. That's going to be this year's Parched Madness bracket, and we know the top seeds. We know that The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin and Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan, these are all the names that you know, names that you love, names that brought you to and kept you hanging on to the business for as long as you did. I feel like as sports fans, at some point we all watched wrestling. I mean, especially if you lived in the South.
Especially if you lived in the South, yes.
Right. I mean, there was a time where the Monday Night Wars were just phenomenal. Eric Bischoff and WCW taking on Vince McMahon and the WWE. We know the top names. But it's the automatic bids, those guys that might have been on the fringe. Now, I was not included. I mean, like, I wasn't included as much in the seating discussion that you had with Brian.
No,
I was not there for the discussion last night.
No, you're rolling. That was selection committee later today.
Absolutely. So, anyway, I had to take a peek at some of the rankings that you guys have. And some of them I laugh at hilariously. And others I go, wow, this guy's way too low, and there's no reason that he should be on the bubble. So I'm going automatic qualifiers here. I won yesterday's pie daily draft.
Solely because you cheated with pizza pie.
I did not
And
cheat.
you cheated because you did it before I did, which is because I was totally planning on doing it.
I did not. I won the Pie Day daily draft. So today in the greatest wrestler of all time automatic bids for the Parched Madness tournament, number one pick for me, and I can't believe this guy was even on the fringes of your discussion last night.
He was on the fringes. And by on the fringes, I mean he probably wasn't going to make it.
And this guy's a top 30 wrestler to me.
Oh,
at least.
And you always over-exaggerate it.
No, I don't. Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig was the perfect wrestler. There's a reason he had the name Mr. Perfect. Now, was he your superstar? Was he the, 10-time world champion like Ric Flair or Edge or whoever else belongs in that discussion? No,
Nope.
He was not. He was the most solid technician in the ring. He was pretty good on the mic as well, and he was a hell of a heel.
He also had the worst promo ever where he threw himself a 100-yard touchdown pass. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it. It is the worst piece of cinematography in the history of creation.
I was going to say the worst promo ever was probably Scott Steiner doing math. If you haven't seen that, that is phenomenal.
Not great.
But Mr. Perfect, I can't believe he is on the outskirts of this discussion. He is easily in the top half of our bracket.
Well, my first pick will make it very obvious that we were being as impartial as humanly possible because my number one pick was firmly on the bubble, and I think he should win the whole tournament. And that guy, everybody's got a price.
Yeah.
It's the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
But this is another one. Like to me, he's solidly in. He should be a solidly in top half, top half seeds of the tournament.
He's about a 13 seed. He's going to get an automatic bid.
Ridiculous.
He never really won anything. There was an argument that he was a much better valet than he ever was wrestling.
He was better before the big break. See, that's the thing that people forget about wrestling. And look, I'm guilty of it too. Like, I'm not going back in history and trying to put Lou Thez into this discussion.
Now, there's not a ton of super old guys.
No, because wrestling it was great when it was a regional product, but that's exactly what it was. I mean, you had guys that were really good in the Memphis area. You had guys that were really good in the Carolinas area. You had all of the different factions. It wasn't until it became a national thing where you had WCW and WWF or WWE, and those are the two companies that everybody watches. You didn't have that before. Kurt Hennig was a perfect example of that. When it hit the national scene, he was past his prime. He was still great in the ring, but he wasn't the big star. Ted DiBiase was the same way.
Correct.
In the regional days, man, he was phenomenal.
Yeah, but see, not the national cachet. And now I fully plan on giving him all the flowers I can possibly give him because he's my favorite wrestler of all time.
An automatic bid for Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man.
And if this was a mullet draft, he's a 1 seed. Ever. Because it was flowing and luxurious. My second pick is former heavyweight champion.
Mm-hmm.
Without a doubt, the worst interview that has ever happened on this show. Not even close.
No doubt. No doubt.
And that man,
God rest his soul.
It's time. It's Vader Time.
Yes. Big Van Vader.
Big Van Vader is
Again,
my
this
second
another
automatic
one.
solution.
Shouldn't even been a thought that he would be in this competition, but, I mean, I don't know that there's ever been a big man, like a super heavyweight, in professional wrestling that has ever moved like he could move.
Well, I mean he played in the NFL.
I mean, this guy did moonsaults at 380 pounds. He was massive.
Oh, I love Big Van Vader.
He was so great.
He was also on Boy Meets World, which
he was.
Totally makes him a selection for me.
Yeah, Big Van Vader definitely into the tournament here with an automatic bid from Flostradamus, Jeremy Greene.
I'm waiting for one of your picks to get a really visceral response because I feel like it's going to.
And I'm sure they will. But I will have visceral responses to many suggestions throughout this process. Don't get me wrong. Have no fear. I got more fired up about this than I have just about anything else we've done.
I'm going to tell you, secret time. One of the things that blows my mind is every time we do something like this gets more interaction than everything short of the NFL draft.
Mm-hmm.
Every single bit of it. And people lose their minds, and they get so angry about it. That's why we love doing it.
Yep.
We also have a really cool open for this. Very excited about it.
My number 2 selection for automatic bid into the Parched Madness greatest wrestler of all time bracket, the one and only Dean Malenko. Now, Dean was another guy that he didn't get the limelight, but
because he was boring as all get out.
Yeah, he didn't have the personality.
He had the lamest tights. He had his moveset was, oh look, I'm the greatest technical wrestler they got.
Bingo. And that's what gets you in. You don't have to check all of the boxes. But if you can check one of them better than anybody else in the business, Dean Malenko falls into that category. He was a great technical wrestler. His mat skills were unbelievable.
I don't disagree with him. I felt like he deserved to be in too. He was out, so you just saved him and got him in this contest.
Mm-hmm. He should never have been out. And as soon as I saw that, other guys to consider, no, sir. Dean Malenko into the tournament. And then I'm going, this is an off-the-wall one. I'm going 1, 2, 3 kid / X-Pac / 6 / Sean Waltman.
Yeah, how many names? See, that's one of the reasons I think I look at him and go, really?
He did it. He did it for both companies. He was a part of 2 of the biggest factions ever. He was the 1, 2, 3 kid in the WWF, and then he jumps over to WCW, rules the cruiserweight division, part of the NWO. Then he jumps from WCW back to the WWF, joins Degeneration X. I mean, he's almost like the Forrest Gump of the wrestling world.
The chat is exactly where I thought they would be when you said this, which is not so much.
He was great.
He wasn't even a discussion. You went completely off the board for me on that one.
That's fine. I'm still trying to figure out why, though. He
Because
had a
what did he
good
ever
personality.
do?
He had a good personality. He was a great high flyer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. Okay. I guess he's the SEMO of this.
He's a 16 seed, no doubt.
doubt.
But there's no reason that I don't think that he should not be incled in this discussion.
I feel like there are playing games coming, and I hadn't thought of that until
Play-in
just
games.
now. Every time we talk about this, I wind up giving myself more work for this thing than I had when we first started talking about it. All right, you're 3 in. I'm 2 in. There's a guy that's right on the line. He won the Intercontinental title at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I feel like he and Ted DiBiase combined would be my entire personality.
Mm-hmm.
It's the man. The only one through the Monday Night Wars to ever be on 2 shows in the same day. Ravishing Rick Rude.
Yeah, that is perfect. If Jeremy were ever to be successful as a professional wrestler, he would definitely have tights with his own face on them.
A, who says I don't have that now? B, what are you, a cop?
No, not at all.
You already know I have a Ric Flair robe, so that's true. I do.
Still haven't seen it yet, so I'm gonna say.
To be 100% honest with you, I don't know where it is.
You've claimed for 5 years that you have this robe, and I've never seen it.
I may just need to have another one commissioned. It's not like it was that expensive.
I think you're there. I think you're there.
It could be. I mean,
Steven,
frankly, of all the things I lost, I'm going to say that's no less than the 7th most disturbing. But
Stephen Tao, I did consider Billy Kidman, but X-Pac had a greater reach. So
that's how for me, that would be Billy Kidman. It's not even close.
But why?
It's not even close. He was much more relevant for much longer.
No.
X-Pac was like, hey, he's there too. He's in the picture. Look at him. He's there.
Oh, he's doing stuff.
He's there and he's doing stuff.
He's doing stuff.
All right, we're up against a break.
Okay.
And this is actually not a time that I am stalling because I know exactly who my next pick is. Because when I said this guy earlier, you rolled your eyes at me and it made me angry. So after the break, I'll tell you who that guy is, and we will finish the automatic bids into Parched Madness, the greatest professional wrestlers of all time.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Shuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. Future 26 westbound stop and go between Broadway Street to approaching New Stock Road. 26 westbound slowing between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound in Haywood County crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road, southbound, slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road, northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Discover credit cards do something pretty awesome. At the end of your first year, they automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right, everything you earn doubled. The cash back from trips, restaurants, all doubled. Seriously, though, see terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Haley, quote, "Navage is the best thing I bought. I love it. My nose feels so clear now and I can breathe. I've been struggling with a stuffy nose for weeks. I bought Navage and it's amazing." Or this one, "I use Navage every night, could not imagine life without it. I have 5 cats, and before I found Navage, I was a clogged mess. Now I breathe so much better." Unquote. Those are 2 of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Get ready for spring with Zero-Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Right now, mention ESPN Asheville and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for $119. Book online at ZeroResAsheville.com. That's ZeroResAsheville.com.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle.
They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. And the Sportsocracy heard everywhere around the world on the iHeartRadio app. Parched Madness, our specialty bracket for the year. We have decided it is going to be greatest of all time professional wrestlers. And today's daily draft, we're doing automatic bids. Guys that might have been on the bubble discussion that we don't think should be on the bubble. Now, I will say that doesn't stand for my last pick in X-Pac because he definitely needs to be on the bubble, but I think he needs to be in just because of his popularity and usage across both of the major entities in professional wrestling. I started it out with Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, Dean Malenko, and X-Pac. Jeremy's got Ted DiBiase, Big Van Vader, and Ravishing Rick Rude. Who's your next choice?
You rolled my eyes when I said this earlier, and it made me angry. It's me. It's me. It's DDP.
I rolled my eyes because there's no reason he should be in the bubble discussion.
And yet he was. And yet he was. And yet he was. I don't think you understand how deep this is.
I don't really feel like it is.
Oh, it very much is.
I don't really feel like it is because aside from three guys that are still in the business, there's no wrestler today that should be in this discussion.
Oh, I don't agree with it. Roman Reigns has to be in. Brock Lesnar has to be in. I think Seth Rollins has to be in, at least in a play-in. And then you get into like Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I'm good.
That's probably the only ones I could actively tell you, other than the corpse of Chris Jericho, who is still doing things, and now looks like a kitty cat because he has eye black. Looks like he should be on Broadway.
I mean, I saw his Brian's list where he had like Sami Zayn and
that one's not even sniffing this bracket.
Not a chance. I've never figured that out.
I haven't showed you the official list because you have a real interesting habit of not keeping things close to the vest. Because when things irk you, they come out.
I can't help myself.
I'm aware. That's why I don't show you things until you can't ruin the surprise.
All right, your next pick is DDP. Again, I don't think it should really be a discussion.
The mullets in my team? Whoa. I mean, we're talking three of the top 5 mullets in the history of pro wrestling. Let's go.
Was he refined on the microphone? He wasn't bad.
No, he sounded like a biker.
He was a very tall guy who was able to do a lot of interesting things in the ring. And I think the Diamond Cutter was one of the best finishing moves in the 1990s.
Agreed.
So DDP definitely into the tournament here with an automatic bid. All right, my last two picks, I got to go full homer here because while I was having fun with, following the storylines of WCW and the WWE, there was one entity in the wrestling world that was always considered by the big fans, the mainstream fans, as the outsider, and that was ECW. Extreme Championship Wrestling.
Oh, we got an ECW guy coming.
We got 2 ECW
we
guys
got
coming.
2?
Yes. One of them made the crossover. The other one did not make the crossover because, well, frankly, he was just too much for TV.
Oh, I know exactly who this is. Is this somebody that bladed himself so many times that his head looked like a ripe orange?
None other than the king of hardcore himself, New Jack.
I mean, this dude was not a great wrestler. He was decent on the mic, I guess. I mean, he talked smack with the best of them, and it was always, he's
going to be the hardest person to pull a clip from because most of them would be deemed as wildly offensive.
Was he long-term champion? No. This guy was there for thrills. He was there to give you something that you'd never seen before. He would jump off balconies. He would bring out a trash can full of weapons to the ring. He would stab people with forks. I mean, this guy was just off the charts.
He's also the only professional wrestler that you could honestly say could have been charged with attempted murder 3 times in the ring.
He was.
I know.
He definitely was, and had a tattoo of 3 bullets on his arm that were for each of the justifiable homicides on his record. I mean, this guy came off the streets and came into the wrestling business and just went, you know what? I can take a bump better than anybody.
And he took them legitimately.
He did.
This is, I don't care if I fall off a 40-foot bank. It's fine.
New Jack was one of my all-time favorite characters in wrestling. Again, was he a great wrestler? No, not really. But he's just willing to do things that other guys weren't.
All right, it makes me nervous that you said 2 ECW guys because the guy I was intending to go last was also one.
Was also an ECW. Well, this guy was long-term champion in ECW. Did make the switch over to the WWE when it got bought out. And he ended up having a decent career.
That makes me feel better because mine is none of those things.
He wrestled for a while for WWE, and then, of course, he ended up taking a seat beside Michael Cole on the broadcast booth.
Oh, no.
It's Taz. It's the human suplex machine. He was phenomenal.
I'm okay with that one, but I'm really glad you didn't take my guy.
I mean, this guy was the champion so long in ECW that they created his own belt. He had the FTW belt.
Mm-hmm. So I've already told you that Ted DiBiase and Rick Rude, if you could combine them into one person, they would make my entire personality. Well, in the break, I thought about this, and I went, no, there's an edgier side to me that we haven't put into this combination yet that makes Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
We need to add domestic lights. We need to add a little heater to the proceedings. And we need to make him absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Sandman.
Exit light. Let's go.
Sandman.
Bring the kendo stick and all the blood.
Yep.
Give it to me.
Yep. I don't care what our draft is tomorrow. I feel like I won this'n. You may get me in food, but when it comes to dumb things from my childhood, A1 since day one.
It is quite the list that we put together here. Automatic bids into the GOAT professional wrestler bracket. Jeremy went $1 Million Man, Big Van Vader, Rick Rude, DDP, and Sandman. I went Mr. Perfect, Dean Malenko, X-Pac, New Jack, and Taz.
I feel like we could both agree that I won that one.
I see. I don't feel that way because you took half of your guys should have been in the bracket anyway.
Yeah,
and it's only because Brian Haynes is apparently a moron that he doesn't that he has guys like Shinzuku Nakamura or whatever on his list.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
It does not matter. You know what? You know what I know about him? Pat McAfee does a stupid dance every time he gets on television.
That is true. I actually forgot about that.
I mean, he's a good wrestler. Don't get me wrong. I don't get it. I do not get it. So we'll be. So what's the schedule here?
We will be putting out the bracket tomorrow.
Okay.
And then over the course of the 3 weeks of the NCAA tournament, we will be putting these out in reels on TikTok. All of the short form content, we'll be putting those out basically as quickly as we can put them out. However long it takes us to record them for 1 minute and put them out, that is how quickly they will go out.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be fun.
You're in the Sportsocracy.
Before we do that, we have 2 super chats that we missed.
Okay.
One of them is from Stephen Towle.
I'm your huckleberry.
And his super chat says he wants to hear you say the new nickname of your team. Where you combined the second word in your city name with your new quarterback's name.
Yeah, I refuse.
Can't do it. I super chatted, so I feel like you have to.
Yeah, I don't really know what he's looking for here.
That would be Tampa Baker. Tampa Baker.
The Tampa Baker Buccaneers?
There it is. That's what he was looking for. And the other one was from Gage Camplin, who asked for our thoughts on the release of Darius Slay. I can't believe they actually did it. I mean, I know they have that they're going to run up against it monetarily, but I can't believe you released him for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I am not shocked that no team jumped up to give you something of real value. I'm always shocked when teams go, we'll take the dead cap and just cut him outright.
But again,
that's
if
always
you're
an
another
error in
team,
judgment.
why would you do that? Why would you give up draft capital for a guy that you know they're going to cut?
I didn't actually talk to anybody who thought they were going to cut him outright. It was just going to be they're trying to move him because they want some draft capital and money and things like that. I didn't think they'd release him outright. And yeah, here we are. And he will have a market. I don't know how deep of a market it's going to be. I've heard Detroit, that's not going to happen because they've already signed 2 and they still believe in Okudah. But he's an interesting piece for sure.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. When we come back, it'll be time for the most important message of the day. And no, Jeremy, that's not Aaron Rodgers wants to go to the New York Jets.
Today it is.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Another night of 20s in the valley, 26 degrees with northwest winds settling down tonight. We do change the wind direction Thursday. We start a warm up here for a late week. 63 tomorrow, not as cold tomorrow night in the 40s. And then some rain on Friday, high 56 degrees. Another shot of cold comes in for the weekend with highs in the 40s this weekend. Nighttime low temps in the low 20s Saturday night, Sunday night. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow 240 westbound between Chuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. Future 26 westbound slowing between Broadway Street to Old Marshall Highway. 26 westbound stop and go between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Haywood County 40 westbound crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. In North Asheville, Merriman Avenue northbound towards Edgewood Road delays. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. During Staples Teacher-Palooza, teachers save big, or you save. Save 25% on classroom decor and up to 40% on brands like Post-it, Papermate, and Elmer's. In-store only, offer ends 4/1 while supplies last. Help your favorite teachers stock their classroom at Staples.
On the free iHeartRadio app, you never pay to hear what you love, and you never wait to hear what you want. Save your money, save your time, and listen anywhere. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
iHeartRadio.
You are invited to dinner with us. Hello, my name is Stan Asher, lead pastor of Connection Point. I want to invite you to come and find hope, encounter truth, and experience love. We invite you to join us every Wednesday evening, 6:15 p.m. for a free meal followed by small groups, life-relevant Bible studies for every age group at 7 p.m. We also have an exciting children's ministry. We are located at 142 Elk Mountain Road, Asheville, North Carolina, 28804. Check us out on the web to learn more at connectionpointcog.org. We'll be looking for you.
The Big South champion UNC Asheville Bulldogs are dancing all the way to Sacramento to take on UCLA in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Brian Hall and Mike Gore will be courtside Thursday night starting at 9:30. This special tournament broadcast is brought to you by our title sponsor, Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. And also by Firehouse Subs, now hiring for Weaverville, Patton Avenue, Tunnel Road, Airport Road, and Cherokee locations. Allen's Jewelry and Pawn, Patton Avenue, Tunnel Road, and Cherokee. And Air Vent Exteriors. Expand your outdoor living space. Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
It is the Sportsocracy, and it's that time of the day. Time for the most important message.
Aaron Rodgers is a New York Jet.
No, not that one.
Oh, don't do crimes.
Yeah, don't do crimes. Who's doing crimes today, Jeremy?
My story is from the lovely, weird state of Florida. It's about a man named Jason Smith. He's a 44-year-old man, and according to him, he is from another planet. He was arrested by the Palm Beach Police Department because he did a thing that you're not supposed to do. He was the naked guy. Just walking around fully just naked.
Fully nude.
It's not a thing you're supposed to do. When the police arrived on scene, Smith told them that he did not know where he had left his clothes. He also refused to give them his name or his date of birth. The arriving officers took Smith to police headquarters where he continued to refuse to reveal his name. He did eventually give in and tell them his name, but he also told them that he did not have a social security number, he did not have any form of identification, and that he was a resident of a different Earth. And here's the thing. As I went down the path, I'm not so sure he's wrong, because he's actually a resident of West Palm Beach, Florida. And if you've never been there, that is very similar to another world. He was arrested and booked on charges of indecent exposure, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest. His bail was set at $1,000 US doll hairs.
Ooh.
Not sure where he would have kept that money since he was naked. Also want to know, was the interrogation done whilst still nude? If you are the naked guy, do you have to then answer police questioning whilst naked?
No.
Because I feel like that would at least increase the speed with which you would answer the questions.
No, you get one of those nice, lovely, soft, pretty good smelling, cell blankets that you get to cover up in. That's always nice.
I think it would probably get your questions answered much quicker if you just left them nude. Because that's just awkward. Like, okay, it was fun while it lasted, but now I'm just sitting here in my birthday suit.
All right, my story comes to us from Colombia. The Colombian Navy intercepted an illegal submarine ship because it had, a boatload of crimes on board. $87 million worth of cocaine was aboard this illegal submarine ship.
That's a lot of dollars.
That is, that's over 2,600 kilos of cocaine hydrochloride. The military entered the boat approximately 15 meters long and found 2 bodies on board and 2 people who were in poor health. The 2 people who were in poor health were rescued, and they were taken to shore for medical attention. Officials said the rescued people and the deceased were taken to the city of Tumaco in the southwest of Colombia. Authorities said that there was an accident inside the semi-submersible vessel, which generated toxic gases from the fuel. So this wasn't like, 2 of them wanted to get away with the shipment, so they killed the other 2. No, this was guys were trying to transport $87 million in cocaine, and they had a hole in the exhaust. Maybe somebody stole their catalytic converter. Was that what happened?
That does happen.
Do boats have those? I don't know.
You're asking the wrong dude.
The wrong guy.
I mean, I can answer a lot of questions, most of them about the draft,
Yep.
Beverages. Boats and cars are not something that I am an aficionado on.
This is the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. And As we get close, we haven't really talked much about the NCAA tournament.
Would you like to know why?
Coming up here. I mean, should we spend a little time on it?
There's no intrigue whatsoever.
Best
because it's the
upsets.
most open. This is the most open field I've ever seen.
100%.
I mean, we have a bracket challenge. If you would like to be a part of that, you can find it in the comments of our YouTube video, and I will be posting it on the Facebook after the show. So you can jump into that to compete with us for a still to be determined prize.
You say it's the most wide open tournament, and I don't disagree. I mean, there are no
my eventual
great
champion.
teams.
Your eventual champion is what seed?
It's a 1.
Mine is not.
Really?
Mine is not a 2 either.
Ooh.
Or a 3.
Really?
Or a 4. Mm-hmm. And if I'm right, you won't see me for a minute because I have a healthy doubloon or 2 on it.
So you're going 6 seed or greater wins the NCAA tournament.
I didn't say they weren't a 5.
Okay, so 5 seed or greater wins the NCAA tournament. I mean, that is a bold pick. Also, a bold pick is to go completely chalk because this is not the year.
See, and to me, this is absolutely the year to not go chalk because the difference between a 4 seed and a 14 is just not that much.
Mm-hmm.
I could see 6 or 7 12 seeds or higher winning over the course of the next 2 days. Wouldn't shock me in the least. But I just don't think the good teams in college basketball, I don't think they're that good. Alabama is very good. If they go cold from 3, they could be beaten by anybody. Now, that has not happened many times this year.
Right.
But if it did, you get a bunch of guys that are not used to playing at this high level.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of pressure on you because you're the number 1 overall seed.
Mm-hmm.
Shots aren't falling, you get beat.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team, though, that has stood up against the pressures. I mean, since the shooting happened and they had one of their players go to prison or at least be charged with murder or accessory or whatever it was, it hasn't hurt them tremendously.
And then
with Miller being tied up into all of this, you would think maybe there would be some distraction here. But he's been playing better, I think, since all of that came to light than he did before.
He's the best player in this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I keep seeing Duke in the Final Four, and that is really, really funny to me. I also heard Jim Boeheim say that we should seed teams based on how they're actively playing and not their resume. And Jim, it's time for you to go home and take a nap. Well,
I mean, you could make the argument that Duke is playing as good as anybody right now.
And okay, so let's discuss that they're playing better than anybody. You do get they haven't really played anybody in a slew of months, right? The ACC is awful. There's a reason you only got 5 teams in.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those teams is Pittsburgh. Yes, you could win a game.
And they did.
But you're not. That doesn't count.
Of course it does.
Playing games don't count.
Yes, it does.
I'm not talking about in record books. Everything counts in record books. In terms of, we won a game in the tournament. Yeah, you beat Nevada. Calm down.
Still
counts. Or Mississippi State.
Still counts in the record book.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't even kind of care. I will forget that game even happened in less than 1 calendar week.
Mm-hmm.
But I just looked down. I mean, there is somebody with every numerical seed from 1 to 6 that I could see winning this entire thing.
Number 1s have to be Alabama.
The number 1 would be this is weird, but that's the only 1 seed I can actually see winning this thing.
No, Marcus Sasser is he comes back and over the next couple of weeks.
But they've been so cagey about it.
Healthy.
I got news for you: Marcus Sasser doesn't play this weekend. They don't make it out this weekend.
They may not, but I got a feeling he will.
Then why have they been so weird about it?
Because they don't want to. I don't know.
Oh, what? Tip your hand that your best player's playing?
I don't know.
I don't think that's because I promise you they're not really just. Well, first of all, you're playing Northern Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing something called the Norse. So
is he going to play? Does he need to?
Not against them, but if they play Iowa, he needs to play.
And badly. He will. And I feel like he will play. I mean, this is his last shot. He was, obviously he's been on this team for a while. This is his last year. And they made the Final Four. I feel like they can make the Final Four again, but they're going to need Marcus Sasser to do so.
No doubt.
And if he's healthy, that's my national championship game. Alabama, Houston.
Yeah, and I can't get there. I like Alabama, but there's too much parity. This is not one of those years you're getting 4-1s.
No.
Who's your favorite two? Because mine's not even close.
It's not even close?
It's not even close. And for me, they should have been a 1. Because I like them better than Purdue, and it's not really all that close.
Oh, so you're talking Marquette?
No. I'm talking Texas.
Oh, Texas.
Yeah, you could do much worse than having a doubloon or two on Texas to win the national title.
Mm-hmm.
You do realize they've smoked Kentucky twice in 10 days. That kind of tells me. I mean, first of all, this was the number 1 team in the country. They hit a little roadblock when the Chris Beard thing happened, of which how he landed on his feet that quickly, I will never understand. But I told you it was going to happen, so it didn't surprise me.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at Texas, I don't know who is supposed to beat them. I look at that entire bracket and go, who are you losing to exactly?
See, and that's kind of how I felt about Houston. If you have Marcus Sasser, I mean,
I don't care. If I'm Texas, I got Marcus Carr. You may not even have the best Marcus in this game. So
Texas is your favorite too. I think UCLA is probably.
I'm not 100% sure they make it out of the first round.
They will. They're not losing to UNC Asheville.
If the big guy doesn't play and they've only got 6 players, you mark my words, they will struggle mightily. And that might be the stupidest line I've ever seen.
They may struggle, and UNC Asheville may cover the 17.5.
19.5.
19.5.
With no Adam Bonner, that is a dumb number.
I love UNC Asheville. I love Mike Morrell, Drew Pember, all the guys, but this is UCLA. They're not going to show up and lay an egg in the first round of the tournament.
Oh, yeah, because that never happens. Especially never happens to Mick Cronin. Oh, wait. Yeah, it does. A lot.
Yeah, I think they have the best path of a number 2 seed. Because I'm not sold on that region. Just as a whole. I'm not sure what to think about Kansas. I mean, they're good. But would I be
Kansas for me has to get by UConn. If UConn somehow loses to Iona, they will walk to the Final Four because there's nobody that can hang with them.
I got them losing to Arkansas.
You are drunk. We need to drug test you right now. And I love Eric Musselman. He's one of my favorite coaches in the country.
The fact that he had
the fact that he had an assistant coach that broke a reporter's phone over the weekend should tell you how tired of this team he is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're super talented, but every time I watch them, they look like they just met each other about 15 minutes before the game tipped off. I keep hearing that one because of Bill Self. I don't care if Bill Self's not in the same time zone as Kansas for the first weekend. I would argue I don't think they will spend 5 minutes actively threatened before UConn in the Sweet 16.
Okay.
Now, that one they could lose.
Right.
I don't trust Dan Hurley much at all because I've never seen him win an NCAA tournament game.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Eric Musselman. This is he's going for 3 years in a row in the Elite Eight. I like for them to threaten and possibly pull the upset against Kansas in the second round. I mean, I just look at that bracket and I go, Arkansas, UConn, TCU, UCLA, Gonzaga.
TCU won't make it out of the first round.
Really?
There is a lot of bad things happening around that program right now. It's really loud. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a bad look. And if there's even a shred of truth, of which I don't know, I'm not there. But if that's true, there are guys on that team that you may see a diminished effort from.
Right. Popular pick has to be most popular upset matchup in the second round has to be Charleston and Furman.
Oh, yeah.
Charleston.
I think every person I've talked to has one or the other, or both.
I've got both.
Winning. That's very common.
I got both. Furman going up against Virginia, who has been a disappointing team for the last month and a half. And then
Virginia's overseeded. San Diego State's overseeded.
And then Charleston going up against San Diego State. And then I got Furman and Bob Ritchie beating Charleston in the next round to go to the Sweet 16. I'd love to see it. Any other big upsets that you want to point out before we move off?
Louisiana over Tennessee. If you're setting a bracket and you don't have that, you're going to have to explain it to me. Because Tennessee is nowhere near the same team they were. They are grossly overseeded. I'm not going to lie. I like Oral Roberts to beat Duke, too.
Really?
I do.
I'm a big fan.
Who's the best player on that court? It's Max Abmas, and it's not even vaguely close. And I've already seen you do it once. They got a 12 for a reason. That team's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And would it shock me if Duke goes into the tournament and just lays a complete egg with a team full of freshmen?
No. Of course, I didn't think that they would be able to win the ACC tournament, and they did.
Well, see, to me, everybody's overrating that they won the ACC tournament. There's not really a team in that entire conference that I think is all that good except Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And even Miami is super inconsistent. People keep picking them to lose to Drake, and I find that a little bit funny.
I do too.
Like every year we have to pick every 12 to beat every 5.
Because you just want to be right.
I mean, I get it.
You just want to be right. You want to say, look, I had that happening. Lo and behold, you're going to pick one, and the one that you did pick's not going to be right, and some other 12 is going to beat a 5 that you never thought was going to happen.
Well, 12 wins every single year, so you should have 1, maybe 2. Not all of them.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. The tournament starts in earnest tomorrow. The games will start off at noon like they do every Thursday of the NCAA tournament. It'll be all day long.
And Friday, I will be at the Village Porch, and it sounds like there's a possibility
you'll be there as well.
You'll be joining along, so we will have – and Brian Haynes will be there as well. So we will have a full birthday day late St. Patrick's Day NCAA tournament extravaganza.
And do not forget to tune in tomorrow night, ESPN Asheville, and on WWNC. We will have the simulcast of the UNC Asheville Bulldogs opening round game. Number 15 seed UNC Asheville against number 2 seed UCLA in Sacramento. Brian Hall and Mike Gore will be on the call. Flo Stradamus will be anchoring things back here in the studio tomorrow night. Coverage starts at 9:30. Tip-off set for 10:05.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic stop and go 240 eastbound between exit 2 and exit 4A. 240 on the westbound side stop and go between Chun's Cove Road and Montford Avenue. Future 26 westbound stop and go between 240 and the old Marshall Highway. 26 westbound stop and go between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound crawling between NC 209 and US 276 in Haywood County. On Merriman Avenue in North Asheville, north and southbound, heavy delays approaching Edgewood Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound, stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road southbound, slow between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You do anything to keep your vehicle happy. Let's make sure it stays running smoothly. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, the right parts are just a click away. When you see the green check, you know that part will fit. Get the right parts at the right price. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Searching for fun ways to spend your tax return? Boats for cats. Oh, flotation devices for cats. Don't waste it all on something silly. Spend smarter with Straight Talk. Get our Silver Unlimited plan for $45 a month with unlimited high-speed data and with nationwide 5G. Plus, get a Samsung A13 5G for only $99.99, down from $149. If you're looking to get the most out of your refund, your search ends here. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See latest terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Hey everyone, it's Cassidy Hubbarth from ESPN.
I'm Nico Ramos, a sports broadcaster here in Manila.
Together, we have a new podcast we can't wait to share with you. Hoops Paradise, the Philippines' love of the game.
You know, there's religion, there's politics, and there's basketball.
And those are the three things you talk about in the Philippines.
It's a basketball love affair like no other. Listen to Hoops Paradise, the Philippines' love of the game, on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelley Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumping a bag of hammers.
All right, recapping the events of the day. Jeremy, the happy Jets fan, as Aaron Rodgers admitted he wants to play this year, and he wants to do it for the New York Jets.
Well, I mean, now Green Bay and the Jets both have a very – I keep seeing people say there's no urgency for Green Bay. Yes, there is. You don't want to answer this question every day. Jordan Love's your guy. That's where this the leverage point is. Mm-hmm. The longer you keep Aaron Rodgers in the building, the bigger of a headache it is. That's why he did what he did today. Look, Aaron Rodgers is not a dumb guy. I've seen this narrative that, well, he shouldn't have done that. You think Green Bay doesn't know he wanted out of this building? They gave permission to the Jets to talk to him. And I told you, they have the vague parameters of this. Green Bay apparently has gotten a little greedy in this stage. And this is like dealing with a child. If a child throws a fit in Walmart because they want 2 toys, what do you look at them and say? If you don't stop, then you'll get 0. And that's the Jets' leverage in this throughout the entire process. Mm-hmm. They'll come to some form of resolution, and I have a funny feeling it'll happen before the end of the week.
Tank is the sad Buccaneers fan because we signed Baker Mayfield today.
Tampa, Yay. Baker, Buccaneers, football. Fire them cannons!
I mean, if I do have to choose one of those stupid takes on his name, it's Bakerneers, not Tampa Baker.
Both are funny to me.
It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
'Cause you sold your soul to the devil, and now you have Baker Mayfield as your quarterback.
Totally worth it.
Yeah. I'm going to remind you said that 7 years from now when you haven't so much as sniffed a playoff appearance. Mm-hmm. Was this fun for you? 'Cause it was for me.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers football at its finest. We will have the NCAA tournament kicking off tomorrow. Before the show, we'll have all of your live updates as well as the latest in free agency. C.J. Gardner-Johnson looks like he's going back to the Philadelphia Eagles, so they're plugging holes and they're keeping who they can keep to try to make another run at a Super Bowl. All the details on this and more coming up tomorrow right here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Another night of 20s in the valley, 26 degrees with northwest winds settling down tonight. We do change the wind direction Thursday. We start a warm up here for a late week. 63 tomorrow, not as cold tomorrow night in the 40s. And then some rain on Friday, high 56 degrees. Another shot of cold comes in for the weekend with highs in the 40s this weekend. Nighttime low temps in the low 20s Saturday night, Sunday night. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is stop and go 240 eastbound between exit 2 and exit 4A. Light delays 240 westbound between Chun's Cove Road and Montford Avenue. Future 26 westbound is stop and go between 240 to approaching Old Marshall Highway. On 26 westbound, traffic is stop and go between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound in Haywood County crawling between NC 209 and US 276. In North Asheville, Merriman Avenue, north and southbound, approaching Edgewood Road, traffic is stop and go. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road, northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road, southbound, slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Jackson Hewitt. Want to be 100% certain about your taxes? Jackson Hewitt backs your return for life. Switch today and get 50% off tax prep. 50% off is a limited time offer for new clients filing at participating locations. Max value $200. Visit jacksonhewitt.com/50 for terms.
Did you know that Ingles sells more organics than any other grocery store? Or that they run their own dairy? Or that they only serve USDA Choice and Prime meat? Or that they donate 3,956 meals a day to local food banks? Well, now you do. It's all